Welcome back to the final league matchup showcase of season 21. We've done the first four. I won the first two. Vexer won the second two. All that remains is the showdown. I believe season 20. We also did the league matchup showcases for me and Vexer. Believe Vexer took every single one but the last. No, but Wayfarers versus Savannah Elves. Am I thinking about that right? Yeah, no. So we got 4-1 that season. This season, it's closer. We got two victories under our belt. Whoever wins this one takes the ethereal Ben and Vexer Cup. So Wayfarers versus Polar Dwarves. Polar Dwarves favored in my mind, just because it's just kind of hard for Wayfarers to bust in there. But Wayfarers play a really clean game and get good trades. Get value with Celeste without being too greedy. Things can work out. So without further ado, we've been taking a look at some games here to try to practice up. I don't know if we learned anything. Did we learn anything? I don't know. I think I want to be. I'm playing Polar Dwarves, right? Am I playing Polar Dwarves? Okay, wait. Let's double check this. Yes, I'm playing Polar Dwarves by only 3 votes. There, 10 votes for Vexer to play Wayfarers, 7 for Polar Dwarves. So just barely. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness, we could not beat Vexer as Wayfarers. The trophy is a gold Vexer statue, literally just a golden Shatter Mage. Um, yeah, I feel like what we learned is as Polar Dwarves, we want to be a little bit. We want to stop the Wayfarers from coming over our side, obviously, but we also don't want to be too greedy in that. We don't want to just throw bare calves out there because the Wayfarers can win the econ game, and Vexer is really good at biding his time and finding the right time to push. So, um, just because we've stopped Vexer from advancing in the first half of the game doesn't mean we've won. watch the most recent game for more on that. um, but yeah, Polar Dwarves are great. The OG structure building faction. They're great to just sit back. You got ice golems. They move slow, but they're also gates. And frost mages are like one of the best ranged units in the game, especially in as far as deck. Well, kind of only in as far as deck. Just with you can pretty easily get 3, even 4 strength, and really go ham. Ice Myths and Bear Calves sort of have their own playstyle going of just like getting some real burst damage there if you need it. I think you do want to like at least have one Ice Smith at the ready in Polar Dwarves, so in case Baldo decides to just show his cheeky little face, we're at least threatening it, so Vex will think twice about just like throwing a really high value champ or summoner into our face. Parapet's super good as long as we position things right, and just don't let Vexer on our side. We'll probably try to play like Jarmoond and Olag. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Ram Shift is obviously like the OG insane combo, and then Wayfarers on the other hand, they just go fast, go fast. Dancers take our places, which will kind of suck. Rogues get really good easy hits from cover. Voyagers, nice ranged unit, like it all. Gotta be wary of slip-bys trapping us. They could trap Celeste. They could trap Spara. That's one way to win, but it seems very unlikely. I think going heavy, trying to assassinate Spara is a losing game plan. Try not to give him Seek the Horizons, though. Usually it's difficult. We'll probably see Baldo. Maybe another champ, too. Yeah. Them's the factions. Let me pull up the game here. All right, so it's our Polar Dwarves. And so doing a 3-day timer, but actually we're doing a 1 hour timer. So if one of us exceeds an hour on the time, they lose the game. Let me just send a post about this and we will get started. All right. Looks like Vexer's kicking it off. Yeah, so I'm tense here because I feel like Polar Dwarves are very favored in this matchup, or at least fairly favored. But it's easy to okay. You know what? We're discussing things after this turn. That's what's happening. Oh my goodness. It's my turn to game of Summoner Wars, says every other tab that I have open. Thank you. Very helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so moving back, maybe a mistake. Don't really want to just invite Wayfarers to crowd me, but wait, what the fuck am I thinking? That would not be within in range of anything. Um, damn it, I thought I could shoot from behind a parapet this turn, but nope, that's not in range. Okay, does that change anything? Do I want to shove my forward gate forward? Okay, so we should think about this turn a little bit. As just like where so Dancer moves forward and steals this spot. How do I make them as how do I make that as least advantageous as possible? I think the more forward I move, the better. But I can't move all these things forward one space without also doing. Just gonna sacrifice that Smith? Absolutely. Stop their pressure? Do it in a heartbeat. Do it in a heartbeat. I think we just I think we just hold this position. I don't like I would move everything forward to space, I think, but um we can't move everything forward to space, so guess we won't move anything forward to space. And I don't really know where the optimal position for Svara to be is. It's like probably here. It'd be nice to like move this gate out of the way so we could place a good parapet next turn, but whatever. Could always move it to the side and place a parapet there. Turn after. Not gonna worry about it. This is fine. We'll hold ram and we'll hold the parapet. Three for three is that. Still gonna go for the Voyager. Hell. Two parapets. Yeah, so like I mean these are the things I struggle with Polar Dwarves. They're just like the very high level tactics of like how do you set up for where you want to put the like would you have done something different that first turn to like set up for the parapet turn two? What do you do? Yeah, I'll keep throwing Smiths at them forever. I mean, maybe I could have held a Smith. Nah, never. Never have I ever held an Ice Smith. Gonna assassinate that Frost Mage, gonna come at me quick as they can. I believe it too. Put him on the board, move him later. Yeah, that's fair. And I also don't need to, like, as long as Vexer isn't approaching high levels of magic, I don't need the Smith. Oh, the parapets? That seems I, I'm not a fan of doing that. I've done that before, and I did that when I first started playing Sfara, but it just feels like you never end up getting those parapets into position. Like in this matchup, like maybe here, but it's just very easy for them to just take a range shot at it with no downside, and then we're just in a bad spot the whole time. But against like Celeste, where you really want like momentum, maybe against like factions that are more that can more easily just like sit back and just like punish your parapets, I wouldn't do it. But we do want momentum, and we do want to play. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, and so I guess I would agree with you insofar as I would rather play these parapets than discard them. So if I have to play them in bad positions, I would rather just do that than like no way in hell am I discarding a parapet. And if the other option is just hold them forever, then obviously that's bad. This plays around my bear calves pretty well. No, I'm definitely holding. I'm probably playing one next turn, and that's it. Probably playing one parapet next turn and holding the other. River without parapets. No, that would in fact be a pretty big L. I agree. Um, kind of sucks that we can't really get attacks here. I could move the golem to here and have Spara shoot the adventurer. I don't crave death that much that I want to do that. My other options are like Spara places a parapet here or here. Neither of which I love. Just because it's that parapet just doesn't do anything and it gets picked at. Um I do kind of like setting up the golem here, and I kind of like not playing the bear cav. Um So fuck it. Let's make him dump some dice into Sfara. I don't love exposing the golem here. Because their play probably is to just kill the golem. You probably don't focus Sfara. You just kill the golem. And we are pretty vulnerable to that. But at least we get some hits in. Call it a day. If I put the Ice Smith as fodder for the adventurer, then the golem is probably safe. But this is how I end up never having an Ice Smith in the back. We discarded a bear cav already. We have. Um, and it would be nice to play a parapet this turn. My initial play was like parapet here, but that's just so bad. But I mean, is it any worse than not playing a parapet at all and just holding two parapets? I mean, I'm kind of fine with holding two parapets. Like, there's worse things we could be doing with our life than holding two parapets. I kind of want to give them, I kind of want to let them advance a little bit. Maybe that's really dumb. I don't really want to throw this Ice Smith in there. I don't know. I mean, first parapet played unoptimally. They throw a bunch of resources against it. We play another parapet, and we're chillin'. Seems alright. Problem is this Ice Golem could miss. This Ice Golem could miss, and then we're still up against 5 dice on the Ice Golem, which big suck. Big suck to that. Okay, screw it. Let's just do the kind of dumb play of... Wait, no, we can't get the go. We can't. What am I thinking? This play isn't even an option to get the golem here and move that gate. Um, we use both structural. we we can only use one shift this turn. So that is super not an option. Um, What about gate to here, golem to here, drop a parapet there? It's a pretty stupid freaking use of a parapet. It's super easily manipulated. But then Sfara just like goes at this dancer. I like making him choose between the dancer and the parapet. Like, they've at least got to commit a fair bit of resources to take out this parapet, and I'm honestly fine with that. Alright, so we're going with, after thinking for an additional 5 minutes, we're going with the first play we thought of. Like a true Summoner Wars player. Alright. Are my gate spots alright? They're not. We don't need to move Svara there. Yeah, just to try to bait him a little bit. If this misses, it sucks, but at least they gotta choose between the Ice Golem and the Parapet. Yeah, that sucks, but it was totally gonna happen. We could have considered an Ice Ram. No, there was no world to be Ice Rammed. There might have been. No, because there wasn't. We started adjacent to everything. Alright. Got a fair bit of magic, so hopefully going to be able to get at some champs pretty soon. Got a Smith in the back, which I wanted to try. That was like my goal for this game. I want to get a use out of Ice Smith, since I never freaking do. I never use Frost Axe. I always just use him as 2/2 blockers to get in the way of shit. But just having one in the back forces your opponent to be a little bit more scared and play a little bit more cautiously. Even if we never use this guy, it's worth the like one magic we're putting into him just to exist, to get our opponent to play differently the entire game. And if Baldo comes down and we have a bear cav in hand, yeah, I'll happily throw that Ice Smith on the cav to try to mess up Baldo. But so what I'm really afraid of is a repeat of last week. It's Forge versus Mountain Vargath, where I'm like, okay, Forge, they need to advance. So I'm going to do really well if I stop them by advancing by putting units in their face. Which is great. Vexer got no Forge and Flames value last game, which is amazing. For the Adventure to get no Forge and Flames value the entire game, I feel like you're almost always going to win that game. But no. We were just wasting way too much value throwing it at them, but they just were ahead on econ and just able to waltz towards us later, which I just never thought possible. So I'm afraid of something similar. I don't want to throw too much. I want to be careful with all the value I'm throwing. Like every time I throw an Ice Smith at an adventurer just to stop it from advancing, I need to be like, okay, that's another toss in the value bucket gone. I need to find it, but I also don't want to just invite Vexer over here. If I play too much to the econ game, Vexer just waltzes on up, and then suddenly it's a Wayfarer's blowout. So we've gotta be afraid. Always be afraid in your games of Summoner Wars. Parapet is good. They're gonna stay out of the lines of this parapet. This parapet play like plays into the fact that we have another parapet, because whichever line they now choose to go down, we're gonna have another parapet for, which will be nice. Dancer's gonna swap with that. Makes sense. Waiting for Ram Shift while we build up magic. I like it. Haven't really drawn any mages yet. Haven't drawn a champion yet. Yeah, looking for Olag or Nadiana. I'd play either of them, I think. Both of those are really helpful this matchup. The extra health with Olag is insane. Extra damage with Jarmund is also insane. So either of those and we're chilling. I like that previous play. I hope you do it. Throw. There's nothing greater than having your opponent give you a 2 magic, 3 health unit to kill. No better Summoner Wars experience. Celeste pops the parapet. You're not really expecting to go 5 for 5 on this, so makes sense. I would have been greedy. I would have put Celeste there to pop the parapet. Absolutely. Maybe we put a Smith on a Golem. We put a Golem here with a Frost Axe on it. Mayhaps. And then another Smith kills the Dancer that'll be here. We build a parapet here. Got a shot at 3 kills. Probably the most important thing at this stage. Celeste just never comes over. Yeah, what is she doing over there? Okay, so this is definitely Vexer showing his hand that this is the field that he plans on playing. So let us get equipped to defend that field. We don't even really need to play another parapet. We can just move this one. Gaming. So I guess that means the Ice Smith can be attacked. Maybe I will just play it. Oh snap. Nope, that's a good play. Shoots all of our designs in the foot. So we could still get far here with a parapet there. Not the greatest play, and it's a pretty far back parapet, so I don't love it. I still like the Golem with the Smith on it. Chance of killing that adventure. All we gotta do is roll 1 special, which is like a 54% or something. Ram shift is an option as well here. Oh, sorry, just a normal ram. No, it just wouldn't be good. It's just yeah. I'm a sucker for the value events. I will always like. I won't really bother thinking about playing like ram on its own unless I'm like really ahead or something. Interesting. Giving me that. Okay. Well, do we play the second parapet then? I still kind of want to hold it. I mean, it gives them a pretty free kill on a Smith, hypothetically. Well, and I do like... I don't know, it's pretty easy for them to attack this parapet. Which I don't love. But if we only have 1 parapet here, it's pretty easy for them to just come down this row and then attack that parapet from there. So maybe we do just play both parapets? Oh shit. Smith is move phase, Golem is build phase, so we can't get the Smith on the Golem. Ah, crap. Ah, fuck. We done messed up. There's a world where we put a gate here, where we like actually play the gate to like stop them from advancing. Okay, is there a world where we parapet here? It just isn't. Yeah, there's no way we're getting a Golem into range over here. Unfortunately. Well, there goes that plan. Do we just build the second parapet? Honestly, I mean, I like the versatility of not building it, and Vexer doesn't know we have it. Yeah, I'm still pretty committed to parapet here, Golem here. The only other thing we're thinking about is like gate here to stop this Golem from getting a 1-shot. It's a pretty good jumping off point for them, but Honestly, just stopping the Ice Smith from dying in one hit seems pretty groovy. Let's start stopping the golem. I don't even know if they would do that though. And if they do that, then they're not going big on the parapet. I think I do double parapets because I think they have to kill these parapets, which is gamer for me. Do we do a second smith? Sure. I think we're going to be rolling in magic pretty soon, so we're not too concerned. Where is the sound effect? There we go. Do we put a gate here? Gate here? Maybe we want to discard one of these smiths. We don't really need two, and we don't have a ton of magic right now. Might be going overboard here. Vexer's gonna freaking note that. He's gonna note that we discarded a smith. This guy. Yeah, so normally I'm not a huge fan of gates as polar dwarves, or at least everyone has told me not to do them, but and I don't like that polar dwarves just occupy, that wayfarers just occupy this, but I want to slow them down. This slows them down. So that, insofar as that, I am a fan. Yeah, and this will let us get to 5 magic next turn, so we can threaten the big boys. I mean, if we 3 for 3 this, will get there. Vexer clicks pen. Oh my goodness, gaming. Masterfully gamed. And 2 Ice Smiths in the back would be scary. I mean, 2 Ice Smiths could threaten the double Smith play, but... and maybe we want to hold that Smith, but... it's fine. There we go. There's our big stuff. We'll discard that gate, play all those units. Shame, no champ, but no, I want to get a foothold here. Do want to get a foothold here. And so they really got to like focus this parapet, but then there's just another one, which is nice. Almost got the wall going. Yep. Still no halfway through the deck, still no ram shift, still no champion. That's fine. I mean, normally you don't love to draw a champion. If we had drawn Jarmund or Olag like in turn 1, I probably would have discarded them. And then just gone for the other. So we're probably happy with this. We've dug a bit deeper than Vexer has, but a bit better board. Spara is fundamentally a very cool faction that plays. Like the sliding block puzzle is something that no one else really has. Are you over discarding? We haven't discarded a ton. We discarded we've discarded 2 bear calves, which bear calves you're really only gonna play like 1 or 2 in a game anyway. We've discarded a smith, that's it. And 1 champ. So yeah, I mean we've discarded kind of heavy, but like I'm playing all my frost mages this game, and because I haven't drawn either of these 2 champs, playing both is an option. Hopefully one of them is like fairly far down. And they're not like my next 2 cards. Yep. Beating up my parapets, beating up everything. I do over discarding. It's good to keep tabs on it though. Not that I've ever made such a mistake myself. Not that I ever would. Not this guy. But you know. And unfortunately this does mean our parapets are just kind of like getting punched. Hey, they live. They live to tell the tale. And Wayfarers only ever get 3 attacks to damage, so it's going to be 2 whole other attacks that the parapets are going to have to eat up. We take it. This would be such a great turn for Ice Repair. Oh, it makes me so sad thinking about it. Makes me so sad. Shoot Celeste with a Frost Mage, probably. Yeah. It's a shame. I don't really think we can get 3 attacks this turn unless I like throw a golem in their face, which I am not really wanting to do. What's better, hit Celeste or hit the Voyager? I think I'm gonna hit Celeste. Um, do I want to? Okay, I wasn't planning on doing this, but do I want to just do the thing where I force them to kill my commons? Or the opposite. I force them to like attack Svar. Like this golem's damaged. Cool. Let's just retreat. Um, let's just GTFO. Now we could even attack the dancer. I think I'd rather attack Celeste though. Threaten Celeste a little bit. I mean, maybe not. No, I think I do want to attack Celeste still. Do I want to build another golem somewhere? Behind the mage? Sure, why not? Traps me a little bit, but for more damage on Celeste? Hell yeah. Go to 5 magic again by the end of this turn. Eventually that Voyager that we failed to kill turn 1 will die. Hypothetically. Still holding out for the Ram Shift. There's the Ice Repair that we needed a turn ago. Oh, that's sad. Both Parapet's gonna die. We're just gonna have to discard our Ice Repairs. Well, I mean, the Ice Repair's still gonna... Oh my god, it would have been 7 health. It would have been such a good Ice Repair turn. No. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, are they gonna kill the Smith? God damn it. I mean, go for it. Go for it. Kill my stupid Smith. That's all you got. Nope, not going for it. Just occupying my stance. I mean, I'll still play Ice Repair for 1 magic for 2 health. Not great values. Maybe we don't play it on the ice value, but like 1 magic for 3 health, like, is value. Looks like their attacks, they're gonna try to finish up. Okay, if this rogue misses that 2-on-2, that will be insanely good for us, because then we can play Ice Repair for a ton of value. Come on, pray, 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 pray for the... Both these attacks could be huge whiffs right now. It would be a huge swing in our favor. L. Alright, we missed 1. Number 2, coming out. Come on, come on, come on. No. Both in Vexer's favor, of course, but... Okay. This does smell like a Ram Shift turn. This smells a lot like a Ram Shift turn. Alright, let's start thinking. Alright, what is our goal with this Ram Shift turn? What do we want? I don't know. It doesn't really... I mean, we just need to be able to attack things. So we don't really have a board right now. We want to wipe their board, I guess. Fine. Wipe the board. Dancer goes there. Ice Golem goes there. Kills that. Ice Golem goes here. Does that. Spar goes here. Sends that. Alright, and we've gotten past the point that I can really think about. Cool. There's also a play where we just try to kill the rogue over there. We could do it on this. We could push that, but then yeah, there's nothing to push your other guy. Um. The ice repair. The ship. The shame. It's a lot of things are a shame right now. Like, do I really want to throw an ice golem at Celeste? I don't really just want like I would rather have a board be like slightly more defended than this. Okay, it's a good first attempt, but I want I want to do this, but maybe put the gate in Celeste's face. Gate in Celeste's face would be really good, and just not have my golems be sitting ducks for no reason. All right, that's our goal with number 2, and we're the ram shift turns as far like that is what we have tactfully saved our time for. So go all the way back. All right. There's no way. Okay, this is the best spot the gate can go is there. That's still decent. I just wish there was a way. I mean, gate could go. Let's just try it this way. We have the time to play around with this. Um. Do we want to force that? We're gonna force this gate back. We're gonna do. I think we do want to force it. Oh, but now we're not gonna. Yeah, if I force that, now I want 3 shifts. Because I want to do this gate to here. I want to do this. I want to do this. And I want to do this. Unfortunately not so good. I think I want to prioritize getting the gate in their face, because that's pretty annoying for them. That's just annoying stuff to have to play around. Let's try these iterations again. I mean, heck, if that Voyager survives, it's not the end of the world. What if we just kill that even? And then this is the bit where we do that. Okay, if we hadn't killed this, then we could damage this. In which case, this move would do this. I'm liking where this is going, but just not quite. Like, this is looking better. I'm not even gonna bother with the repair. That one's out of range. Blah blah blah. Yeah, let's just go a few steps back though. Was there anything better here if we push this guy in? Push this guy this way? So what I really want to do though is, so now we do like this. I guess we just don't force. Vexer says, having issues with that RAM shift bend? Just listen to chat. Chat, help me. Help me, chat. We could then force that dancer to the side. We could, I really want to force the golem to the side to kill this rogue, though. So maybe, if only this could just be a little bit better. Spends points to end phase. Oh, thank you, thank you. I just, you know, we'll get there when we get there. How about that? We will probably get there when we get there, maybe. Okay, what about this? Hot takes. Ooh, and then we push it to the side. So then we get this in here. I still kind of would prefer if we just didn't have to, or if we just like didn't have to expose a golem to that Voyager and we could just kill it for free somehow. Like, could we have, what have we done so far? Yeah, no, I like this take on it. You see, there's just so many ways, and like, even now I'm still like sort of trying to play fast, but like there'd be so many different ways you could do this. I think I want the golem in Celeste's face. For sure. Well, let's just get as many things in as many faces as possible. Am I right? Am I right? I mean, hypothetically, we could only shift this, the gate, and then something else to hit the Voyager. Because again, I don't love how exposed our golems are right now. It's just not ideal. I suppose this does give our golem something to attack, though. So for that alone, maybe it's worth it. Do we attack Celeste or the dancer? I think we attack the dancer. I think we're just hoping the wiped board is enough to carry this game. They can kill that Ice Smith. I do not care. Do not care. Could not care. Good stuff. Let's wipe the board. We wiped the board. We got in their face. A little bit too much value in their face for my liking. But it's alright. Olag and Jarmine at the same time. Didn't want that, but that's okay. All part of the process. Brew another ice repair. That'll probably be good. That'll probably be good. Yeah, I really just don't like how exposed those golems are. But It is what it is. And we don't really have backup golems. Already threw away our parapets. Maybe we should have held one parapet in hand for longer. Not sure. Not a huge fan of what's happening. Falling behind a little bit. Gonna get another ram shift at some point, but where are my golems? They're all in play, except they're about to be dead, which will not be in play. It feels like, ugh. I just wish somehow we could have ended that turn with a golem here instead of here. Then I would be totally content. But as it is, it's just way too easy to get 3 attacks on these golems. And they're at 7. They can just assassinate my Ice Smith. That is my answer to Baldo. And bear calves are nowhere in sight. I'm really hoping they miss that. How this turns in our favor is they miss. Well, why do I feel so behind after my ram shift turn? That's how you know we messed something up. But where this really goes in our favor is if they miss on the golems and then we ice repair. That is insane if that happens. That is how we game this. And it's such a shame that we did not draw ice repair the turn that they went ham on both of our parapets. That sucked. But yeah, this'll slow them down. It's gonna be real tough for them to get to my back row at all. It will be a struggle, and that is good. We like struggles. But yeah, Jarmoon without a parapet is just like rough. Just rough. Maybe we go for Olag. I don't know. IDK. Be real nice to get if next turn we could just get Olag, only expose Olag on one side, Frost Mage somewhere, neither of our ice golems die, so we just get to ice repair them. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be so good. Ugh. Was there a better possible ice repair? Okay, never mind, they're going. Or a better possible ram shift turn. I'm sure if you keep replaying it over and over again, you could find something a little bit better. Yep. Baldo, no surprise. Hypothetically, we have the Ice Smith to scare them, but managed to get this Ice Smith killed before we can really do anything. So RIP. And 8 dice in that golem is probably going to kill it, unless you suck. In which case, that'd be awesome. I'm tempted to just like Olag. Olag answers Baldo. God, big misses here. But yeah, they know the plan. Focus fire golems. Don't split up attacks. I really wish that this third attack was against a golem and not against an Ice Smith. God, Ice Repair is such a good card. Really does the heavy lifting sometimes. And sometimes it does nothing. It just depends. I feel like it'd be fun to get like a live tournament scene going. Because like what I find is like I feel a lot of pressure playing these games because we're hyping it up as this 5 game series, but like because the pressure is only in like the 2 hour maximum time span of the game, it's totally fine. And that's like fun, the stress of the 2 hour game. Well, opposed to like the stress of async games in tournaments is just too much for me. I just can't take it. And I feel like more people could appreciate that. It'd be fun to like have like a Saturday evening league or something. Where I don't know, just like everyone on Saturday, you come, you play a game, and I don't know, scores kept somewhere, and then 2 years later, someone has won. What if Ice Repair only worked on Citadel units close to your summoner and costed 1 magic? That is the big thing where you're like, like with that, like got me on team zero cost. Um, Zero cost mass heal was just the comparison to Ice Repair is just so abysmal. Ice Repair has better range, infinite range, and costs less. Though what has swayed me a little bit in recent thinking, because originally, like when I was like first started, it was just like, oh yeah, like clearly this card is way better than mass heal, not fair. But the Vanguard's healing is like I could see healing being more beneficial in the Vanguard. It's like Sphara, it's kind of what you do. Our strength as Sphara is we have really high health units. And we also have the ram shift combo to clear a board, but like we don't necessarily like a lot of strength like burst damage and whatnot. Like we can do it with the Smiths and the Cavs, but they're gonna cost us like we lack some strength with like damage output and whatnot. And so it makes sense that like that our beef is really good. Now I guess Vanguards do as well. But Vanguards could really, I don't know. It feels like mass heal, zero cost mass heal would do more for Vanguards than zero cost ice repair does for Lord Dwarves. Um, oh, I guess it works on all your units, not just Citadel. Guess that's something. Maybe. It might be something. Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed. Okay. Well, I don't want to give Celeste a target, but I don't really have a choice. I want to focus Baldo, but again, don't really have choices here. Um, I could Olag, Spara, Ice Golem to answer Baldo. I really want this Ice Golem to retreat. We've made this push for God knows what reason, but at least if our Ice Golems could have some extra health, that would be kind of cool, I guess. So, yeah, Olag. Hope this works out for us. Force them to damage our summoner, force them to hopefully leave a golem with some health left? I don't know. We'll see if it happens. I'm not holding out on it, but we can hope. We can hope. And we're gonna hold Jarmoon for the end game, because I'm not relying on bear cabs. Fuck that. 3 for 3. Let's go. Okay, that's huge. Now Baldo is like actually threatened. This is the first time I've played Olag in a while. I don't play a lot of Polar Dwarfs. I don't think we discard anything here. We're being greedy with that ice repair, hoping to get some use out of it. We might not. It might suck, but well. But we don't really need other things that badly. We are have a frost mage. I mean, the final ice golem would be nice, but like whatever. Yeah, so discarding the ice repair could have drawn us another ice golem, which could have been huge for the ram shift turn. But we're gaming. We're behind on econ. Well, we have Olag, so I don't know. They're up 5 cards, but we're up on board. Probably 5 magic worth. So we're about tied, but it's Vexer's turn, so probably a tad ahead. And yeah, we just need Olag to live the entire game, and then we're winning. And granted, they could focus fire Olag right now, but then Celeste only ever gets 3 attacks. So all of these targets demand 2 attacks. If you're going to go at an Ice Golem, you want to do 2 attacks to play on Ice Repair. Going to go at Olag, you want to attack Spara. I'd be surprised if they attack Spara, because you're only really going to attack with 1. Okay. Rogue could get you a couple attacks. I always forget about rogues, because I just don't play them. But apparently, Nick says they're really important, so Nick can't be wrong. Ooh, slip by could really kill us right now. That'd be really bad. Or just that. Do we just die? Have we made a crippling error? We have the ram shift, so we're fine. Right? 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 Do it, Vexer. Do it. No, do it. You won't. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. This is how we win the game. If Vexer does this and we save ourselves from it, we win. Now, we have to have ram shift in hand, and Vexer can easily just depend on us not having it. Waypoint, that's rough too. Oh, so we can't even shift Baldo. I don't know if we can get out of it. You should do this, Vexer. You should do it, man. I wish I had discarded ice repair. Didn't expect this. Uh-oh. Are we gonna survive it? Who knows? It's gonna be really hard to play around this and do slip by. Come on, Vexer. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it, Vexer. Do it. No! Damn it. I feel like I feel like there's a decent chance we lose that. No, just doing a dancer instead. Yeah, that's fair. But not the, yeah. And the adventure. A decent chance we're dead here. But if we're not, we win. But there's a pretty big chance we're dead. Have we fallen for the oldest trick in the book? I don't know. Remains to be seen. I think we're fine. I think we're totally fine. I don't know how yet, but I think we can. I think we can get Svara to safety here and do something kind of vicious to their board in the meantime. As many misses as possible, please. This is very important. This is beautiful. Another one, another miss just for old time's sake. That is what we are talking about. Could have been 3 more damage. We could have been at 4. Instead, we're at 7. Beautiful. All right, here comes the ram shift. Let me just show it to him. let me just. All right, this is good. There's an out here. Now, is there any way we just clear the board with Svara is currently? I don't really see it. Problem is that we can't retreat. I think our safest bet is to go to the left. So I would do something like this. Yeah. Um I mean, we're gonna take our time on this one as well. So exposing the crap out of Olag just for funsies. Do we damage? I feel like we're still holding ice repair, and this damage seems kind of bad. That being said, we do want to protect Svara. So huh. Yeah, and then we don't really have another good move with that one. Well, okay, wait. Let's see the end of that play. The end of that play is I just shift to here and I go to there. Okay, that's bad. It's almost good though. We need to move this golem to free the adventurer, or to free Svara. This is another way of doing it. Um, Let's see. I like fully occupying their gates, don't get me wrong. It's a shame. Did we have another move? I don't think we did. If Olag moved, we could... Okay, well, let's try iterations where Olag moves. Um... Uh... Staring into a dark void here. This is decent. Not insane, but decent. And that would be it. Okay, wait, let's just try some iterations where Olag moves. Are there any of those? Okay, wait, we want to move Olag before, and then... Well, we don't even need to move this ice golem up top then. And that might free us up, actually. Is this secretly the best play? Have we found it? The secret best move that you never would have thought of. I like putting 10 health gate in front of Svara. Me likey. Okay, unfortunately, there's not a ton more to do here. We've already kind of done the damage. Uh-huh. Okay, this is good. This is my favorite iteration so far. We're a bit scattered, but Spara is alive, and suddenly we are ahead. Let's see if there's a better iteration yet. So moving Oleg is definitely the key there. We've unlocked something with that. Let's see. Let's try again. Were there any better iterations with this? I feel like the answer is looking like no. But you never know. Because there were some inefficiencies in the last play too. Yeah, I wish we were just able to kill the adventurer. I mean, we're in a bit of a better spot here. Problem is Celeste can get to us, and so can a rogue. Did the previous play not allow for that? Okay, previous play is this. The previous play exposes our golems a bit more, which I'm not a fan. So like slightly worse for econ, but I think it was a more defensible position. Is Celeste still roguable? Oh, she is still roguable. Or Svara. That's okay. If they commit a bunch of attacks to get big rogue damage, that's fine. There world where we do this. That lets us get one more damage on the golem. This is stupid. As opposed to, or one more damage on the dancer. As opposed to one, we can take one damage on our golem in order to take one less damage on Baldo. The other play is this. Wait, what is the other play? One second. Now I'm confused. The other play, what we did the first time was shift to here. Did we just shift to here? Oh no, we just left the golem there. Yeah. We shift the other golem up. Okay, I don't love shifting the other golem up. It does protect us from rogues a little bit better. How many coordinates have we seen? In one. We could get beat up by rogues, but I think I like the other play better. Which was to do it on the golem. Well, the golem's already just shifting up, so what the hell's the point of that? We could also... Or wait, what was the plan here? Was Celeste... I do not see what I did that previous go. I got the adventure out of the way. But then was Celeste just exposed on this side? She must have been. That seems stupid and bad. Uh. I guess we do this after all? I mean, we could expose Celeste on that side, but it's probably bad. I mean, if there was some way to kill Baldo... Ooh, the waypoint's a problem. Wait, yeah, we should be trying to kill... We should be trying to attack the waypoint, actually. So we move down. Get out of the way. Glacial shift here. No. I mean, we could do it with the 10 health gate, but then Svara is exposed. 10 health gate is what was going in front of Svara. Hey, thanks Nat20s for the sub. I appreciate it. Support means a lot. Thanks very much. I need it in this time of need that we find ourselves. Where we need to min-max everything to not lose. Let's just go back to the start of the turn, real quick. We are struggling. Okay, we determined there's absolutely no play in which this is it. There's just none. Because those are like our big options here. There's also worlds where like Svara could... What if Svara stayed here? And we brought this gate up. I don't know. Now we're just trying shit. Now we're just going for it. Nobody knows what we're doing. I really want to protect Sfara on all sides. But what I realize is it's a 3-day timer. Just take a break, take a nap, get something to eat, go for a walk, come back with a fresh new perspective. See, that's what you have to do. Like if this was a turn in a league game or a tournament game, you need to do like you are throwing if you don't do that because there's easily something you're not going to think of. Which is why I go insane when I play on 3-day timers in like a competitive setting. Okay. Whatever. We do want some timer left, so we should probably just. Okay. Baldo lives. It's fine. Is it fine? It's fine. It's fine. Well, I could let Baldo live at 1 health and do this dumb play. Dumb play isn't the stupidest thing ever. Yeah, this dumb play is alright. It's a shame for Sfara not to get it. Because we're at 7 health, we really could expose her even. But isn't the best position. I've seen better positions. Do we want a Frost Mage over there at the very beginning? Just to get in their way and be annoying. Just to slow their momentum further. Do we want a Frost Mage? Where can we summon things in the beginning here? Ooh, we could summon it. We could summon a Frost Mage here as well. There as well. That could be good. I think I'm going to go with here, though. Just because that's a fairly well-defended position. Yeah, the key was always moving Olag. That really helped it. That helped everything. What was the plan? This silly thing? This silly little plan of ours. Back and forth a little bit. It's a shame the Frost Mage can't hit it. Well, it's not at all, actually. There's no amount of shame. I feel no shame. Yeah, our attacks aren't great, but I think we're ahead enough now to just win. Hopefully. We might not even be. We still got to go for the waypoint, so we don't just die to 2 rogues plus Celeste. Could still be a little bit sketchy here. I mean, if we miss on the waypoint, that's bad, but yeah. All right, we're committed. Get in there. Baldo still being alive also sucks. Oh, could trap us next turn, actually. Fuck. Do we lose to that? F. If Baldo just traps us next turn and there's 2 rogues, I mean, we kill the rogues? I don't know. I mean, hopefully they don't have that. And we took it. All right, let's see what our timer actually is. I mean, we've taken the two big turns. And again, by the way, if we didn't have ram shift that turn, we were just dead. They had just won the game. Another feel good ice ram turn. Yeah, another like why am I still feeling like I'm behind after the ice ram turns? I know. Um, another like we're alive after that turn, so we take what we can get. Olag's on the board. They got a focus fire golem. The other way has to be ice repair. We've taken over the board. Baldo's going down any day now. Dancer's going down. They don't have much of a board. We're doing pretty good. It's decent. It's fine. I would even pop in it's fine. That's how fine this is. Yeah, so the problem is so Baldo could move phase and then attack phase get there. Two rogues go here. Um and then we lose. But they need coordinate plus a let's see, summoned wayward rogue. They've only done one. So coordinate plus wayward rogue, it exists. It could happen. We could die. Or we could get trapped because there's no way out of the trap now. But hopefully they just don't have coordinate and two wayward rogues. And even if they did have it, we would kill the rogues and then they would need another wayward rogue to finish it. Even then, we're probably fine. So we're probably locked into this econ battle now. We have successfully turned on econ mode. Let the gaming commence. Maybe I got distracted during your turn. Yeah, Vexer fell asleep. We still have 20 minutes on the clock. We could have taken more time even. Someone in the YouTube comments can think through the very best possible play we could have done that turn. In the Voyager, but there's just way too many things to kill. I mean, maybe we didn't want to do that Frost Mage, so what they have to attack is either Olag or the structures, but no, I'm fine with them. I'm fine with them dumping attack value into a one cost 4 health. I think like the units that you want your opponent to attack are the units that cost less per magic. So like I'm always happy for a Frost Mage to get attacked because 4 health for 1 magic, that's value. Well, as opposed to like an adventurer, you played 2 magic and you only got 3 health out of that, so you really want it to stick around and get use out of that. Yeah, just do 1 attack on my gate, 1 attack on golem, 1 attack on the other golem, and we'll call it a day. you know, you don't really need to do anything clever. You don't need to worry about it. Everything is great. What's our econ looking like? 2 bears, Darmoon, and some stuff. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Just take inactivity damage. Yeah, literally. Like, we can be friends. We can so be friends. We managed to ram shift and it didn't even take like 2 years. The first time there was a Polar Dwarfs game in the league. I just had time, so I just set up the board in person and I just spent an hour for each ram shift turn that game. I'm just like, cause I wanted like the practice with Polar Dwarfs too. Like, let me just explore every single possibility right now. Like, I'm just curious. I think I one shot Shonk the turn. Shonk was summoned that game, summoned that game with the ram shift. I felt very good. Because ram shift's good for value. I mean, back then it was used for assassination since it could hit summoners, but it's just good value. It's just gaming. Yep. Focusing my golems. Hopefully they get a sexy 4 out of 6 on that. I mean, I suppose the dancer could then just attack it. They're queuing up their attacks there. And Baldo retreats for the horizontal stack. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about this game. Still a bit tight. They still have cards. They're not just gonna fall over and die anytime soon. But we got a game going. That was like that them going for the assassination and failing is a huge way because like before that turn I was feeling pretty rough. I was feeling like my stuff's exposed. They're gonna go for me. I don't know. Like, it's not the blowout polar dwarves. Too much stuff that they can possibly kill victory that you're hoping for. Even if like we're probably like just kind of even right now. But then this it's like okay if we get out of this spot they like if your opponent ever goes for an assassination like trying to trap you and it fails if we just hadn't drawn this glacial shift the game was just over. That top deck that last card how many cards did we draw that turn? Um, we drew one. Are you serious? God, we're so lucky. Yeah, I did not expect it at all. We drew one card. It was a 1 out of 8 chance for us to not lose the game immediately. And we got it. Uh, and now, I mean, if you ever get out of a trap, get out of an attempted assassination, you're gonna be ahead on value. They also missed pretty big, got the skills. This is how we do it. This is how we take this game. I am ready for the W. You don't even know. After last season, after the 4-1, I will take what I can get. I think this is the second time Vexer's playing Wayfarers too. You guys always give me Mountain Vargath. You always give Vexer Wayfarers, which I'm fine with the latter. But give Vexer Mountain Vargath. Stop giving me Mountain Vargath. I can't do it. Can't play them. Suck. I suck. Oh yeah, Olag good though. So many things good. We've been holding this ice repair. Jarmoon good. I mean, Vexer has just been playing around this ice repair pretty successfully, so eh. Still got a golem, still got cards. Jarmoon isn't gonna get a ton of value even if he comes down, but he's just like my late game assurance to just have something to play. And he can probably get enough value. Miss, 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 miss. Miss everything. You suck. Aha. I mean, Ice Repair for only 2 health at a golem isn't even that good, but I still might do it. We might discard Ice Repair. They're forcing our hand here. To this, I don't know. I'd probably just like summon a Smith. Call it a day. Maybe a mage to shoot Celeste. I don't know. But just like a low health unit that Celeste doesn't get that much value out of. And we just got some good attacks. Fire probably retreats. Takes the golem with her, and then we're vibing for the rest of the game. Taking it back. Taking it back. Just throw the bear out. Yeah, I'm not. Unless you get trample damage the turn you summon the bear. Just for fun. Get the bear out there. I mean, I could throw the smith in the back, but now that, I mean, we didn't use the smith. I was like being so like proud of myself. Like, all right, I'm gonna use a smith this game. And then we didn't. We just got it killed. The smith in the back that wasn't supposed to die. Yeah, it died. And then we cried. And then it was bad. Gaming, gaming. Yeah, make fun of me for taking the long shift turn. I mean, Vexer's in a really tough spot. We really just got to reanalyze, like, okay, like what are my outs here? Because major loss that I was able to get out of there with a ram shift. How does Vexer turn this game around? Just press the concede button, Vexer. Just give it to me. Skill difference. And I'm guessing why Vexer went there, because even though I'm waxing here about like, oh, like it's not going well for me. In reality, it's still like kind of fairly even. And the only reason I'm feeling like that is because like, this matchup can really be going well for Polar Dwarves, and I just know that Vexer's sneaky little guy is gonna find some ways to get some value here and there and beat me at the game. And I don't like that my golems are so exposed, so um so even though I was feeling like not a good spot, Vector's also probably like this is not a good matchup for me. It's like kind of even, and they have a better board than me. Matchup like this, and I think Ramshift was just like 2 turns ago, the last one. So like, if the only way I'm losing this game is Ramshift, maybe that's a risk I'm willing to take. Um, yeah, that's 1 turn. Oh, is it literally the turn before? 1 second. Okay, this was the Ram shift turn. Then they took a turn. Then we took a turn. Yeah, so we each took 1 turn in between. There was 1 turn in between the Ram shift turn. And Vexer is tripping. Come on, tossing the towel. I need it. I need the W. Come on, believe. I'm gonna open my blinds. 1 second. All right. Slightly different play. Where is that dancer going? Nobody knows. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Another miss? Oh, damn it. L. L alert. Hot L. Well, we'll try to keep Oleg alive for as long as possible. Not sure how long that's gonna be. Yeah, Vexer just trying to keep any set of units alive for any amount of time. I think we still hold ice repair for like as long as humanly possible here. There's a world where we just throw a bear cab at Baldo. There's a world where we do a lot of things. I want to use Olag, but I don't want Olag to die, which is kind of just a general tragedy here. I think we got a bear cab. We gotta play a bear cab. Don't like. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna throw at Oleg to the. I'm gonna throw at Oleg to the goats, the whatevers. Throw an Oleg away. Okay, I could just do a frost mage instead of a bear cav. Fine, we'll do that. Um, I don't like how much value we lose to bear calves. Throw an Olag to the goats. Probably gonna be able to kill Oleg, but we don't have that many more structures left. Like, it's whatever. We've gotten some use out of him. I mean, how many structures have they actually killed of ours while Oleg was active? One? Golem? Anything else? This sucks a little bit in case we miss. And the bear would, like, guarantee that we didn't miss. But... I don't know. Is there a world where we're, like, dead to some fucking bullshit? Some stupid garbage? There always is, but probably fine. I mean, maybe we want to be one spot up. Baldo going down. Alright, this one is pretty huge. We really want this to kill. Thank goodness. Okay. In a decent spot there. But they still got some cards. They still got some cards. So do we. Do we hold the bear? We discard the bear. We go to 5. Can play Jarmoond. Can play Jarmoond if we discard the bear. And then we'll have 6 whole magic left to go through 9 cards. That's reasonable. We'll be a bit above curve, but bear's the one that I'm kind of happy to not play. We're gonna discard a gate too, so it's really more like, well, yeah, we discard the bear, and then we have 6 magic left. It's more like 5 magic left to go through 9 cards. So maybe not, and maybe we would just rather have bears than Jarmoond, given our like current board state. But maybe I wouldn't. Alright, fine, we'll hold the bear. I've convinced myself bears might just be better than Jarmoond in this game. With where we're at, we just need units to get through 9 cards. We don't need to worry about magic efficiency or whatever. Like, just need units to get through 9 cards and 3 magic. Then the game is ours. They gotta extend to kill Olag this turn. I have to send a something. Should I have put Svara here? Was this actually safer? Yeah, because then you have to get all the way behind me. Are we just dead to slip by plus coordinate? We totally are. I lose this game to something stupid like that I should have just played around. Svara should not be there. Svara should be here. I mean, otherwise, if we didn't do this, it's a little bit scary because coordinate plus Voyager gets behind us, but it's also pretty easy to have. Alright, I like them playing on that side. Okay, we need to play around Farah's bullshit. Or Celeste's bullshit. I don't know how. We need to just like put a unit here and put Farah behind it or something. That's how. Interesting. I'm not sure what you need the rogue for. Yeah, so Olag has like barely done anything for us this game. Let's see, what turn did we summon Olag? This was the first ram to catch up on board. Turn after that, we summon Olag. They go for this. They kill one golem, one 6 health golem that was actually a 5 health golem because we damaged it. Olag did jack for us this game. And we got him killed. That is where we're at. But at least Olag is a high value target. So distracts from our other units. Only going to be one other attack on the rest of our units if they go for this, and they have to drum so much value into this adventurer just to get it. Now, granted, might not be able to kill the adventurer next turn, which would be an L, but hoping we can just have good enough tactics to carry this to the end, given our like slight board advantage right now. It is only kind of slight when you think about it. Like, we're not, I don't know. Somehow Vexer keeps in the game despite taking all of these econ hits. The rogue plus the adventurer coming in for the kill. Then the waypoint in the back. I don't know why people put waypoints in the back. It still confuses me, but sure. Just why? I like to get Celeste. I guess that's an escape plan for Celeste. But like, what is this rogue doing? Because both these attacks are going here, and surely this you killing this boosted Smith? I mean, maybe not, but surely you're killing the boosted Smith. Interesting. Going for a push in that direction. We might play the gate to prevent a push if we have to. Like I will keep Spara alive at all costs here. If Oleg lives, that is so fucking huge. Oh my goodness, we are so lucky. We are a lucky son of a bitch right now. That's us. Mr. Lucky son of a bitch. Yeah, that waypoint's a little bit scary, and we might need to play around it, which sucks because I want to discard that gate, not discard that gate. But yeah, I want to shoot at Celeste, but I also could just shoot at this adventurer. Nah, I think we gotta shoot at Celeste here. I think we gotta just throw a bear cab into harm's way. I think we unfortunately have to drop this and cry at how bad that seems. This event we might miss on the adventure. That would suck. Coordinate plus slip by gets to Celeste here. Am I acting like I'm afraid of something? Am I showing fear? If we clean up their units, we're really winning though, is the thing. Like, if we just sent the bear here, sent the frost mage here, or if we just sent the frost mage there, and bear attack Celeste, leave the dancer there. I mean, I like them having to put something in place to stop Olag, but I also like killing that rogue. Killing the rogue is real tasty. But 3 dice on Celeste is also tasty. Killing the rogue is real tasty. It's a shame this bear cav just can't get any value. Maybe we should have discarded it. I mean, because if we had Jarmoon, I'd much rather just have Jarmoon shoot from right here. Well, but then we have to give up on killing both of these units, which is a bit of an L. It is admittedly a bit of an L. We just want as good of trades as possible right now. Okay, we can kill that rogue at some point. It's fine. We'll just do the first play we thought of. Good stuff. Would I rather do that? That'd be kind of weird. Slipbind gets to us pretty easily there. Interesting. Eh? It's kind of fucking dumb, but I like keeping my units safer. Yeah, no, this is way better to keep our units safe. We can get hit by a rogue through here, plus a coordinate, but it's gonna take a lot to actually kill us back here. Probably don't have it. We're probably fine. What are the name of the game against Wayfarers? Yeah, that seems good. Like against any, that's really the true power of the cunning symbol. 3 for 3. Yeah, the cunning symbol is that like they have so many tricks up their sleeve that it's no matter where you are, you're afraid of something. Some combination of cards could mess you up, and so you're always having to make this decision of how much do you play around and how much do you not. Because like an adventurer plus like adventure coordinate plus this plus something something could get 7 dice on me, I'm sure, but like that's a very specific combination of cards for them to have at 5, and that would also be a 3-on-3, so it's probably fine. Do we go with the waypoint, honestly, just for the magic? Because we can really use magic right now. Damaging Celeste is good. Yeah, fuck it, get this waypoint out of here. I mean, if it goes for 1, I'll be sad, but good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely still full hold. Play the long game. Hell yeah. Now you got to commit another thing. We're just trading out. We think we're slightly ahead. Want to just trade out this game. I'm glad we saw the play where we like bring our bear cav to safety. That is way better than the alternative of not being safe at all. Another frost mage is another little frost mage chamber we can set up. Go for W's here. Let's get an updated clock. Said 10:50 before. See how much time we actually have. 12:41. All right. We got time. We got time on our side. Yeah, basically the entire analysis of this game boils down to Vexer went for it and got for it. So unfortunately, it's probably not going to be as interesting of a game to analyze. There wasn't like little dynamics here and who has the advantage, who doesn't, and oh, I killed your parapets before you got Olag out, and oh, but you got the Ram shift turn. It really like this game just entirely swings on. I went for a kill and didn't get it. I can basically summon sum up the whole thing. Unless we lose, in which case we're really sad and we suck. Celeste is continuing to rip through units. That's unfortunate. We need to. Someone needs to stop her at some point, and it's not going to be me. No, it will be me. We're gonna mess her up. Come on, gaming. Moving forward. Interesting. We've been holding this ice repair the entire game. Vexer refused to give us value for it. Honestly, maybe we should have just discarded it last turn. But if we can just get one turn of like, I don't know, playing for the value game here. If we can just get a golem to just take a hit and then kill it, like that'll be good. We have 8, 9, 10 worth of magic in hand right now. It's gonna be go to 6. Yeah, they're probably not gonna get us to 10. So actually, discarding the ice repair might put us over the edge where we can get it, but we also might maybe just discard the bear, but discarding bear is bad. I don't know, it's a bit tough. It's a bit tough. And Jarmoon sooner than better. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say I would have rather discard the ice repair last turn and get so we could threaten Jarmoon to this turn or something. But I feel like this is real positive. Okay, this let's not kid ourselves. He's moving up because he thinks his only plan here is to somehow kill me. So let's keep that in mind, shall we? I think I'm pretty safe here. Like, adventurer could get next to me, but pretty hard for an adventurer to get behind me. In fact, I think it's impossible for anything to get behind me besides Celeste that comes around the other side. Oh shit. Busting out the coordinate. But will we bust out the slip by? And now is the time for us to begin the gaming. Not going for Olag, just gonna clear the bear. Fascinating. Real fascinating. But yeah, get Celeste close. Okay, I'm gonna be like I'm so stressed right now because I cannot let them in. I cannot give them the kill. Oh my goodness. Cannot let it happen. Not on my watch. That is huge. That is a huge miss because now we don't need to summon anything to defend from that side getting ambushed. Ooh, oh, not going on Celeste, and not going on Sfar. Interesting. Interesting. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Still pretty sketch over here. Yeah, I wish if I had Jarmoon, I'd probably just play him. Maybe not though. Okay, can I wipe this board? I can if I just throw Olag into it. I think that's worth it. Okay, if I just go, if I have a unit here and here, they can do this. Am I fine with that? Let's Voyager goes here. Plus an Adventurer goes here. Okay, if their cards are Adventurer, Voyager, have they played a coordinate though? Yeah, they played both coordinates. So it's no longer an option for an Adventurer to get all the way there. Yeah, I think we just wipe this board and then we win. Nothing fancy going on. Just wipe the board. I could put a Frost Mage there to stop slip buys, but am I even scared if Celeste slip buys in here? I mean, I guess what I'm afraid of is a punching match between Celeste and Sfara. But I also don't want to just if I play the Frost Mage, then I might not be able to summon anything next turn. No, I'm going to be able to. I'm going to be able to summon a Golem. Okay, yeah, let's not even entertain the thought of a punching match between Celeste and Sfara. Let's just get in here. Am I doing anything dumb? I don't think so. I think we're good. I think this is over. Game is over. But it's funny though, because I don't feel that ahead on board. Like it's only by like a couple units. Scary game. Yeah, in this position, we do not discard anything. Still a gem if they attempted to play the late game, but I'm pretty sure we're going all in at this point. No thinking, just gaming. And we can just play the Ice Golem and call it quits. Yup. Rogue can finish off the Cav. Yeah, so they're really just threatening the punching match between Celeste and Sfara. I will not be having it. No punching match today. Nuh-uh. Not for you. Not allowed. Okay, I think I can move here. Think that's fine? I don't think we're gonna get trapped. Think we're good. Should we put the gate to the right side, probably? Yeah, because then they can't slip by at all. And I'm like, and what? Why is this back here? That's just like getting in my way. Oh, did we miss on that rogue? Wait. Okay, I didn't like... My mind didn't process that we missed on the rogue. Well, that's fine. We could have gone for the Frost Mage, but... Going to is probably worth it. Are you gonna play Slip By? Is that your last card? The last cards we had to coordinate, we had to seek the horizon. But man, look at like all the things that had to go. Like Vexer had to miss a big assassination, and it's still a scary game. Do we get more dice somehow? Nope, we stay safe. Right? We stay safe. Frost Mage for the kill. And there it is. We are the champion of the season 21 Ben versus Vexer showcase. Let's go. Absolutely no luck on our side there. 100% skill. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the Academy of Vexer for tutoring me and helping me become a better player. All right, let's hop into voice right here. Let me see. How loud is my sound? Okay. I am pretty loud. Do do do. Oh, 1 second. Did we screw up our voice sound? No, we did not. Hello, hello.
Hey, hello Ben, good game.
Good game. Yeah, I was scared up until the end there. GG.
Yeah, yeah. What did you thought of that of the game?
Um, of the whole game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Overall, the game.
yeah. I feel like the summary of the game won't be as like play by play as usual because I think it kind of comes down to you went for the assassination and missed it and there you go. And
Yeah.
that's the game. A lot of games will come down to that if you miss the assassination. You'll be you'll be devastated to know that in order to have the ram shift to get out of that one situation there, I held 4 cards in hand, and the 5th card that I drew out of the 8 cards in my deck was the glacial shift that I needed. So if I didn't get that 1 and 8 to draw that glacial shift, I 100% lost that game.
Mhm. Yeah, I was surprised. Like I thought it was unlikely, and the one in which I think the game just completely like ended when I failed the 4 out of 5. Well, I needed 4 out of 5 on the Oleg. I think that's when the game was done because I really needed to. Well, to get that so that when you got the bear, I was still going to be able to have one unit alive there to try to get the trigger of the event into the horizon. And yeah, I got like both of the into the horizon were the last 5 cards. Like they were the last
Oh, yeah, yeah.
cards. That's why you never saw it. And I was like, hey, they have to be coming because most of the game I was in a position in which I could have activated it, but the game just kept going and those never came. And yeah, there were some key whiffs there. That I mean, that with the assassination, I was like, oh come on! I was expecting at least 6 out of 7 or something like that, 6 out of 8, or even seven
Yeah.
out of eight. And yeah, and also the thing that got me was well the order of those events, and then I had on my first few hands, like in my first like 8 or 9 cards, both slip bys. So I
Ooh.
had to discard them because of that. I was like, yeah, right now there's really nothing for this one. And I also
Mm,
had Boldo on coordinate, so I didn't want to be in that situation in which you end up holding too many events and then you don't even have
yeah.
units. Luckily, I
Yeah.
discarded the first and then I immediately drew the second one. So that didn't happen. But then I was like, okay, I'll just have to discard this and play the econ, which I was ahead on that
Yeah.
until, yeah, like there were in this one pretty much. Uh, Wayfarers need to be able to use Celeste, and that's
Mm-hmm.
very like you rely a lot there on the luck of the roll. Like if you're able to get some one-shot kills with her, you can turn around like the tempo and the econ. Or if you
Yeah.
start like just getting like misses with her or with the adventurer, because it's hard for those to survive more than one turn. So this matchup many times, like if both players play it properly with a good strategy, ends up getting decided like who gets their 3 out of 3s on those attempts to kill the adventurers. Also, the part like I was really far ahead on the econ, but then Svara got like 2 3 out of 3s straight like back to back, which killed
Yes.
units. I was like, oh boy, okay, my advantage just got like nullified here. Now we're back into like an even position. So that's how this matchup usually plays. Like it's a pretty close matchup if both are playing. Well, I will talk about the strategy. It's similar to the Wayfarers Savannah Elves, maybe a little bit closer. The Polar Dwarves do have an advantage, I believe. Like it's more often than not that they'll be able to shift the game where they need to shift it, and that's the key because we have all the random factors, right? Like who goes first is huge in this matchup. So then, like the order of your events or your cards, like if you get like a normal order or if you get something very abnormal, like what I got, it's a big factor. Same thing for the dwarves. Like if you never get your combo until the last cards, like that's abnormal. That's gonna push you back. Like it's gonna be hard to win that way. If you get them in a good order, like you're able to do things like you did, in which you push things back. But in here, it was funny when you did like exposed Svara and the three flanks. I
Yeah,
thought like, oh, you're forgetting against who you're playing. Like these are the wayfarers. Like at that point,
I
like with
sure
the
was.
really exactly like normally like that would have been at least even if it's not the kill, like the game would have been over there because let's say on average you're going to be getting 6 or 7 damage out of those 8 melee. And then it's very likely that then they'll have at least a slip by around or a coordinator or something to finish things off. If you don't
Yeah,
have the combo to try to cover her, it's over, right?
yeah,
But if even if you do, like it's easy with a slip by to still like manage to find a way. So you want to make sure you never expose her that way. You're gonna be dead like most of the time. Like even when you just expose one flank, they can punish you, but the key there with the Wayfarers is don't be tempted for the assassination, with the exception of the one that you know that, hey, man, like this is wide open, like that play, right? Like I was able to
yeah,
lock her up and I was covering the back with even the artifact so that when you kill Baldo, I could keep the pressure around her. Like I had many ways to sustain that position. So that's why I went for it on that one, even though I was ahead on the econ, because the econ is never a guarantee with like Celeste shooting for like 6 and only getting 2, things like that. I don't know. It happens a lot.
yeah.
And so if you get a chance for the assassination, like, well, the Wayfarers excel at that. So with the Polar Dwarves, let's take a look. Can you share your screen? Let's,
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought I was.
yeah.
Yeah. You want me to go to the
The,
cards?
the key of this matchup, let's start with the key of this matchup. And I thought I was going to win at first because I was able to establish that key. But well, the other variables also play a part. But the key is where you're able to play, like establish the contact point of the game. If it's on your half on your fourth row as your barrier, because the polar dwarfs will always try to form that barrier, right? Like of the archers and the walls and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
if you do that on the third row, and I managed to establish my position like with my units on your fourth row and then shooting with Celeste from the back, but still shooting you on the third row, then more likely than not, the Wayfarers are going to win that game, right? Like that's at that point, when you see that the game in turn 5 is in that position, I would say like, yeah, 70-80%, the Wayfarers are going to take that one. But if the Polar Dwarfs manage to establish that defensive line on their fourth row, meaning their gates, their golems, their archers, everything on their fourth row, then I would say, like, if I see a game in that position, I would say, like, that's 80% sure the dwarves are going to take it because the
Interesting.
Wayfarers at that point don't really have that many ways of turning that around. When it's the other way around, it's not a sure thing. That's why I said like 70 or something like that, because when you do the combo, the ram shift combo, like even if they
Yeah.
were on your fourth row, you have a chance of pushing them back and reestablishing the line of contact beyond that point. So you almost did that when you did the first combo, but your line was really broken at that point. Like you just had a few gates. And when
Yeah.
that happens, it's really easy for them to just bypass all that stuff. Most of the time is with a slip by. And so it's not only the units that would have surrounded you, but also Celeste. Like if I had a slip by there, I would have also brought Celeste like right next to you to shoot for 6 or 7. And that's how it usually goes. And they get in your half, and then it's really well. It's not impossible to get out of that with this faction. Like most factions would lose at that point, but the dwarves always have ways of just locking her back her up in between many gates because she's able to shift those gates. So that's why I would say with the Wayfarers, if you see like a mild opening, don't get greedy. Don't try to go after that because it's very likely that then they'll be able to just protect those flanks that you thought that you had. Like if you just were able to get all the way back and hit her through two flanks, it's very easy for her to just go back to the side that she's open, put a gate in front, and get out of that danger.
Yeah.
So it's hard. Like in many cases, it's better to not go for that assassination attempt unless you know that you have like an 80-90% of getting the kill, meaning that you already like got a chance to get her at 8 or something like that, and then you're going to be throwing like 12 dice or something like that when you manage to do the coordinate slip by and 3 attacks through 1 or 2 flanks. So that's the key there for the Wayfarers. But the main factor, because all the other ones, as you see, like the usual ones, like, hey, who rolls better, the cards that you draw, who goes first, like you have no control of that. The only one you have is that strategy of where the game is going to be taking place, like who manages to do that. So that's the key thing that as a player you need to be doing, and that's usually defined in the first like 3, 4, 5 turns, right? Like those turns are the ones that determine that, and then it's really hard to change that afterwards. So
Yeah.
like that's a key to remember before we go into the units or everything. If you have to remember one thing from this analysis, is just that one. Make sure at the beginning of the game, even if you have to leave units exposed in places that are not great, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like if they have to be trading, that's what they're going to be doing. You just want to make sure that you manage to get the action on the game happening on that 4th row of the other side for the Wayfarers, or that your line of defense is on the 4th row of your side with the Polar Dwarfs.
That's that's really interesting. And so just to spell that out, like from the Wayfarer's perspective, then like what you're looking for isn't the assassination on Sfara, because Sfara can just be so defensive and retreat, but just to, if you are consistently playing in the 4th row, that means that you get value with well traveled with Celeste ability, which means that Celeste can just be just sitting in your back in your 3rd row and just consistently shooting for like 6 or something. Um, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Is
And
that
that's the
the
key. That's the key, because the main weakness of the Polar Dwarfs is that they don't have like a high damage output. Right? They're not able to put out much damage. But if the Wayfarers are hitting with Celeste, like which can like it's sometimes like one shot some of the structures, and that's the key really in this game. If you manage to get like 2 or 3 of those one shot kills on the golems or on the parapets or on the bears, that's pretty much game over. Like that turns the game completely, and it's hard to get back. So it's really a bit like getting lucky on those. But even if you don't get the one shot kills, eventually you'll get at least one, and you still manage to bring down with a high degree of certainty the golems with 2 attacks, which is still like perfect, because you're going to bring one golem down and then with something else just soften and something up for the next turn. Just need 1 attack on that one. So that is the key there, really, trying to do that. Don't be too afraid. I see sometimes people using the slip buys just to attack with Celeste from, let's say, that 3rd row, and then just
yeah.
hide her on the 2nd row. Like that's not a good use of 1 magic. Like having to spend 1 magic for an event, it's expensive. So don't use them that way. Like I'm really not that concerned at the beginning of the game of leaving her exposed in one flank. Like if I'm on my 3rd row with Celeste, like I don't mind like if you shoot back with like something that hits for 2 or 3 or something. It's not such a big deal. You can take a couple of hits, and they'll have to be thinking like, okay, even if I go and hit Celeste, they have to be dealing with those dancers, with those adventurers, with those units, always swarming them. So it's a tough choice for the dwarves. It's not such an easy decision. Sometimes even just going and hitting for 2 Celestes, sometimes you just hit for 1 because you miss 1, and then those units just keep swarming you. So don't be afraid to use Celeste. And the priority should be to take down the ice golems. Like if you have a chance to shoot Svara for 3 or finish off like a golem, just finish off the golem, because remember, as your plan A is not the assassination in this game, then you have to prioritize those golems, because you don't want them to even have a chance to get good value from ice repair. And you also remove that way their points for, well, the power of the frost archers, and then those extra summoning spots where they can bring stuff and just get value from the bear of the trample value. You want to make sure that you don't give them, if possible, those positions where they can get the bear, trample something, and then attack for 3. So getting rid of those ice golem is the priority. Other than that, I think those are the keys for the Wayfarers. Really, like if you manage to get the game in that spot, it's very likely you're gonna win because they won't have enough time to form like a full wall back to back of structures and units and be attacking effectively. And once they're not able to do that, it's gonna be easy for you to get the Horizon event. And at that point, the game just snowballs. Like if you manage to get the 2 Horizon events, they have no chance on the econ.
Yeah, interesting. And I feel like something I wouldn't consider like for some reason yeah, I haven't thought about Celeste as much as the key of this matchup because I think about like, oh well, Celeste, you expose her, but then she'll just get shot at, and so you're only gonna like get like 5 or 6 attacks with her in the game. But that's still, but no, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's like that's still if you expose Celeste and then like just get a counterattack of 3 attack from a Frost Mage against her, um, that's still
Mhm.
well, one, that's not very much damage, but two, that's attacks going at Celeste, and so now your commons are gonna be more safer, and just every getting every bit of value out can be super impactful this game. Honestly, that's as you're describing it is a better match than I would expect from the Wayfarers here. Like I would just expect like, oh well, Wayfarers want to get in the opponent's side. Polar dwarves are super defensive, can just set up defensive structures easily and stop them from getting all the way to their side. So I just feel like it'd be a big struggle for Celeste, but just saying that, well, if you just get a little bit on the opponent's side, you can still just win the value game from there. I feel like it's interesting. Or like
Mhm.
that sounds like an interesting matchup as opposed to just the Wayfarers don't have any tools.
Yeah, no, it's a close one for sure. The thing is, if the Wayfarers don't play it correctly and they don't really fight, or if they don't manage, sometimes like if they go first and they just have good like the enough stuff to move their things on the 4th row, you don't have a chance for the Wayfarers, and that's why I say that the polar dwarfs have the edge on this one because even if you try to play that way, sometimes it will just be denied by your opponent if they play it properly. But the other way around, even if the wayfarers go first and they just rush you and start establishing that, because of the combo, you do have a chance as the dwarves to push them back. Right,
Yeah.
so that's why I say they have an edge. But for the wayfarers, one thing that is important, one thing is like you really need to have Celeste being involved because if it's just a strike for strike between your units and their units, you it's hard to be able to keep up. Like they'll eventually manage to like build this massive wall, this massive fortress, and because of the combo, which allows them to almost wipe the table for like twice in the game, you're going to end up losing that economic matchup. Like it's hard to do it unless maybe like if you manage to get both triggers and you roll well, like you can still win, right? But the thing is, you want to maximize the odds in your favor. And you don't want it to be in a situation in which, okay, I'm just going to go strike for strike with my units. Okay, they rolled better, so then I lose. Right? Like, but if you get Celeste there, like even if they roll better, maybe you're going to be able to win because you're throwing 6 dice constantly at them and they won't be able to keep up with that. So that's the key on
Yeah.
that side. For the polar dwarves, so for example, this one it's so drastic that my first move with the dwarves would even be like I would consider with Svara moving my 10 gate 1 space forward, moving the frost mage 1 space forward, and moving the other golem 1 space forward, just to start setting up that momentum that way. Like that's a play that I would consider because really that's kind of the key. Like once they are not able to position themselves on that 4th row, like they'll still be able to be sneaking that dancer in, but it's going to be a single unit, and then you have to prioritize just getting rid of him. The adventurers is the main one that you want to prioritize, like getting rid of those.
Yeah.
And once you're in that spot, like Celeste is useless. Like she's a 3 range unit, 3/4, and when she's a 3/4, then she's not gonna be turning the game around so drastically. There's no need of getting greedy and sending like well, I guess the ice myths on the other side, things like that. Like it's not necessary to be fighting on the other end at this beginning of the game. It's just starting that formation, everything on your fourth row, and then once you do your first combo, that's when you can shift everything like even forward into their fourth and third gate. If you manage to do that, the game is over. Like they just won't stand a chance. If you have all like multiple gates on their fourth and third row, because at that point Celeste is useless and they won't be able to keep up with the combat at close range. Once you have, like it happened in our game, like once you had many of those gates on my side, there was no safe spot for a bear. Like wherever you were able to summon it to always trample something and then hit hard. So that's where you
Oh.
want to be with the polar dwarves there.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the other thing I would say with the dwarves is try to do like straight lines. You want to prioritize just doing straight lines, trying to plug any hole where they could get an easy trigger of the from the horizon, especially if you have a unit in that line that they could hit and then just move the adventurer, right? So like if you have to expose that, you want them to have to use the adventurer without hitting anything, so that even though they get the trigger, they're giving you a free adventurer for you to kill the next turn on the back. That's preferable. If possible, like you want to prevent that. Like if they don't get the triggers, they're gonna lose. If unless they get the assassination or something like that. So the key is getting that mass of structures to build a whole fort. In this matchup, I wouldn't discard any gates. Right? Sometimes people say like, "Well, I have too many. I have so many gates with these guys that I can just discard my like 5 gates." In this matchup, it's probably not worth the magic. Like it's better to discard the ice myths, I would say. As usual, some of the burrs, the two champs, which, well, at least the Naviana, Oleg. Sometimes like you can play it, sometimes you discard them depending on your magic. I would say the key champ here, as usual, is Jareth.
Yeah.
That's I would say kind of like the must play champ because they're going to be right on your gates, just rushing forward. So Jared, sometimes like that just turns the game around and just completely shuts them down. So I would say that's the must play. So, but for the overall strategy perspective, yeah, that's really the only thing you need to do.
And so straight lines meaning like a horizontal line from left to right to like stop slip
Yeah,
buys and whatnot, or
exactly.
what did you mean by that? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Horizontal in that way. And at first, like with those gates, you will only be able to put them on your third row when you plan them. But then the idea is whenever, like, you really want to be maximizing the shift ability from Svara this time. So ideally, like, you want to be using them, let's say, like, whenever you have a possibility, like, you don't need to move something else for an attack or something like that, always move those gates to move them into the fourth row, like whichever one you have available, because that way, like once you have it just planted there, even if they come in from the front and just hog that gate, it doesn't matter. Like that's going to be buying you the time you need to set up that whole line. The ideal case is that you're going to be able to bring Jared back, and even the like hogging that gate is going to be hard for them. But
Yeah.
that's just going to give you enough time to keep building the fortress and trading with units and doing all that stuff. So and getting like those archers on the fourth row, right? Like shooting from the fourth row type of thing and trading with them.
Yeah.
That's the type of exchange you want to get into. Yeah. So I think that covers the overall strategy. Let's just do a quick, like just go jumping from turn to turn just to see how this
Okay.
one
Yeah, sure.
developed. So this one,
Sounds
check
good.
this out. So first turn, right? Like you went like with this ice meat, but you didn't move your units from the third row. So at that point, I thought like, awesome. At least even though he started, I'm gonna be able to shift the momentum of the trading of the attacks between units to his side. Okay, let's go to the third one. Let's just keep
What what
jumping through.
what do you think real quick about like what would you think about doing this ice myth play, but then also putting like the mage and the gate forward or something? Because you don't get 3 attack with the mage, but I always like throwing a unit in the Wayfarer's face turn one just to stop them from being able to just like have Celeste move 3 spaces forward and place a gate or something. So I always like that, but I see what you're saying too of just like moving all your units up to claim the fourth row is good as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean the ice myth. Not sure if it's worth it at the end of the day because you saw that I was still able to get to like the adventurers, like taking the midfield with those
Yeah,
units, and then I was easily able to take the ice myth out with Celeste.
yeah,
What you're doing there, I guess, is stopping that gate in which I had a gate in my opening hand. Maybe
yeah,
if I were go if I was going first, maybe I could move Celeste twice to the front and then plant it on the fourth
yeah,
the my fourth row, right? So that way I'm just going to start summoning units pretty close to you. So the that play with the ice myth might be viable just to try to prevent that and start just getting the combat to happen on that end, but not sure really because as you saw right now, like you didn't really get a lot of value, like especially if you like miss that kill,
yeah,
like you're just going back on econ there and at least like it gives me a target for Celeste. I'm still able to do with an adventurer or something like that, or another Voyager. I would have been well, actually, that same Voyager, I would have been able to get a likely kill on the Frostmith. So based on what we saw here and most of the hands and units that they'll have, I don't think like that's going to be very valuable. It might be better to really use the ice myths for for magic, just to be able to bring more bears out. Um, in this matchup because the Wayfarers are able to just like eat up as much magic as you give them because they're just going to be bringing more and more units back with from the horizon that sometimes you just can't stop at least one. I wouldn't want to give them too much magic. Otherwise, those dancers and those adventurers are just going to keep coming out. And for the polar dwarfs, it's really hard to take down those dancers. Like sometimes you have to spend your 3 attacks, right? Just bringing one of them down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good. This is
Yeah,
turn
so then
three.
if
Yeah,
you
you
go to the
punished
next
it.
turn, so in here, for example, then you were setting up your line on the third row. Check this out, like in here, like you were giving me that parapet to be shooting with Celeste for 6, right? And I was like, why would he do that? Like he's not even getting to use it. And like that's exactly what you want as the Wayfarers. They're having targets for Celeste in which she's able to shoot from relative safety. So I
Yeah.
thought like he's probably like baiting me to try to like see if he gets lucky with a bear because you had the ice myth on the back that you had just boosted. And the fact that you boosted an ice myth, like instead of just discarding it for magic, made me think like, yeah, he has the bear. I mean, if I go into that spot with Celeste, he's probably just gonna like do that with the ice myth and see if he gets me to hit me for 5, 6 or whatever. So I felt like, you know what, this is not worth it. Like right now, the game is in a good spot for me. I'm just gonna go for the safe play on the ice golem. Just get rid of that one. If I got the 5 out of 5, I was able to also hit the parapet. So that's the way I saw that play. But it's funny to see that you didn't have that one.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm not
funny. Let's
sure
see
what
how
was the
much
logic there with the parapet.
I was drawing 3 cards, so yeah, I was willing to get the bear, if needed there. And yeah, I was hoping you would go for the parapet and then like not go for the ice golem, and then I would be able because I had 2 parapets in hand, so I really just like I wanted to get it out,
Yeah.
and hope I could. But yeah, I agree. I was not a fan of Celeste just one-shotting that parapet.
Yeah, but well, at least it worked too. I felt like, hey, I don't want to leave this game to the luck of the roll. I'm just gonna like start shifting the game this side. You didn't
Yeah,
had any, like I knew that Golem was gonna die, so you didn't had any like summoning spots. So I was gonna try to keep the pressure on this side. So
yeah,
then in here, the game was leaning heavily to Wayfarers. Let's see then what happened. So the next turn, you get a good turn there. That's when you were able to get like a 3 out of 3 on Celeste, getting rid of both of the units, which
yep,
is more than I thought like you were going to be able to do. I thought like both of my adventurers were going to be surviving with 1 life, something like that.
yeah,
So in here, things balanced a little bit more. Then let's see. I had I had Boldo, I had Sleep By, I had Coordinating Hand. So I thought like, you know what? I don't want to get clogged with too many events. So I play one of the coordinates. Wasn't able to get any one shots, but at the weekend the parapets, I was concerning here like, well, the ice repair he's gonna get some really good value, but there was not much I could do. The ice golem didn't even take 4, I think only 2. So
yeah,
in here things were not looking that good for me with all these rolls, but still the strategic positioning of the game was good for me, so I was still feeling confident there. So afterwards, see what happens. So you were able to
No ice
then
repair.
get a bigger line there, get some hits on Celeste, which is good, right? Hitting for 4, that's perfect, because once you get Celeste around the 5 health, like she's not able to be bogging you that much. So
Yeah.
here things got like evened out quite a bit, like things were not in my favor anymore. Like you were turning things around.
Yeah.
Then I was, and the parapets are really good in this matchup. Like they're like just being able to absorb those type of big hits and sometimes like survive one of them and take another one is great. So then I had to spend like my attacks clearing the parapets. I was able at least to get one shot on the ice archer. So thing in here things balanced out a little bit. And then this is
And
one
then I
of the
had to
first
ramp
combo, right?
shift.
So the first
Yeah.
combo, which is like this thing, this is what you want to be able to wipe the table of all the units and move the gates to the closer to the 4th row. So this is the beginning where things started turning against me. Uh, let's see, after that.
Do.
And sometimes like this thing is so devastating that you don't want to even leave that many units in the board so that they don't have like so much great value that they can get out of the this thing. So
Mm-hmm.
many times you just want to have like the least amount of units you need. But I had to, I wanted to keep having the 6 life. So I had 3 there, right? Instead of 2, which is the minimum that you can have many times.
Let me look at that
So in
again.
here, I got
Let's see.
Baldo out finally from my hand, which was there since the beginning of the game. I was hoping like, hey, Baldo, it's hard for the dwarves to like input a lot of damage, right? So I was hoping he was not gonna be able to take that much. Managed to just get rid of one of the gates. Then you got Oleg here, which was great. You had 2 gates there, one of the 2 ice golems, one of the gates. It was a great moment for Oleg. And then you got like 5 out of 5 on Boldo. I was like, oh boy, that was painful. I was hoping
That
to
was
get
pretty
more out of
nice.
Boldo.
I was happy with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. At this point, like the game was even tilting to the dwarves. Like at this point, because check this out, like the line is shifting to my side, but in here, normally, like you could just lose the game leaving Svara. Like this was too much going there, and that's why I felt
Yeah.
like he was safe because I thought like it's not like he can bring Svara down. Like if he does that, I mean, I'm happy with that. Like he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then I just went like for the kill thinking like I was going to be probably sending you to either 5 or 6 live. And then just I discarded everything at that point, hoping to get my other coordinate that was on the deck, or just get anything to just keep the pressure, right?
Yeah.
And then you were able to completely nullify this play, and this is where the game just completely shifted to you because I didn't even get you to a low amount of life, like one shot type of thing or 2
Yeah.
attacks, which is what you can usually do with Celeste and Coordinate or whatever. But you managed to be in a safe spot. And here it was interesting that you left Baldo alive because that guy can be really dangerous. But I mean, it kind of made sense because I thought about this a lot, trying to make him survive, and there was no position in which I could leave him without you being able to just get a bear and just reach him with a bear.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I guess it makes sense, right? Like, you were able to get rid of all the things that could potentially kill you with Svara. So that was good. And in here, really, I was now depending on getting lucky on my end, right? To get back from this, I needed now to get the rolls in my favor
Yeah.
because now I was a little bit behind. So was able to get one of the golems. And here you notice like I even went to if I get the one shot with Celeste, I wanted to be able to use that extra attack, but that didn't happen. So I just prioritized that golem so that you had to. Well, at that point, it didn't really matter. Like I was wanting to get rid of the golem so that you wasn't that easy for you to just lock me up or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the key of the game, pretty much when things went out. At this point, it was who was going to be getting their melee or the better rolls because we were really close on the econ, and I really needed in the turn before to have at least one of the from the horizon. At this
Mm.
point, where I was not able to even get that, you closed the possibility. You started thinking about that and making sure that I didn't get that. And that's where the game probably just slipped for me. I think my last chance really was the turn after. And the play that I did here was I try to go with a like 5 to at least guarantee the 4 on Oleg.
Yeah.
When that didn't happen, like the game was over because my hope was that you had a bear in hand, right? So I knew like I'm sure this guy has a bear. So the idea was that you were gonna bring the bear trying to kill the adventurer, and at least like only be able to kill either the adventurer or then not kill the dancer because of that.
Yeah.
So that was my hope, so that the dancer could just pick that position, or worst case scenario, if you killed both, that's why I put the waypoint there to use the coordinate and then bring like one of my rogues or something and just rush all the way to the back. So in here, though, that's where the game was over. Like I didn't get the kill, and then you took the 3 units, and then it shut down any possibility that I had there because without that waypoint, and with those guys being alive, then I didn't have a chance of activating the horizon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but close, even up to that point, still a chance for the econ if things we got a little bit lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just with Oleg deck, let's see what would have happened, because the key was if I activated from the horizon, then I think the econ could have gone my way. But let's see, if that guy was dead, did you had a way of killing both the adventurer and the dancer? Like if you brought the
Nope.
bear,
I
I
mean,
guess you could have
I could
gone
get
for
a
the 3 or 4.
yeah, I could go for the range dice, but yeah.
Yeah. So but the 3 out of 4 there was like, even if you managed to get that one, then I would have gone with the waypoint for one of the units and then just do the coordinate to go all the way back. At that point, yeah, I guess who knows what would have happened, because that unit wouldn't be hitting anything that you could heal him. But then I would have 3 more units and I had enough magic. So anything could have happened at that point, right? So it was really
Yeah.
just a matter of if Celeste kept like rolling one-shot kills or kept rolling good, it could have gone either way at that point. If I managed to get the second from the horizon, that which I also had in the last cards, then at that point I think the econ would have definitely gone to the Wayfarers. Otherwise, it was anyone's game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but and here's the thing about the Horizon too is that I'm still playing around slip by. I am more afraid of Svara getting assassinated right here, or at least I was, of Svara getting assassinated than of the Seek the Horizon. I was more afraid that there was going to be some slip by coordinate turn to just get Celeste over here and then just like bring an adventurer down the other side to just, I don't know, throw some like 10 dice at Svara and then I'm just dead.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah,
me
no,
being afraid of that, I'm probably like gonna play the gate to keep Svara safe, and I might not play around Seek the Horizon where I could just like play the block gate to block the Seek the Horizon. So yeah, you have me
and
scared.
that's the way to play most of the time, because I mean, if your opponent went to his last 5 cards, you think like, hey, he might have discarded the Horizon thing, right? Like it's very unlikely that they never play one in the whole game. And
Yeah,
it's very common for Wayfarers to be holding that slip by for that kill, especially
yeah,
when you're already at that point in which they can get you with 2 attacks. So that's kind of the way to play it, because that's more often than not, that's what you're going to be getting. I mean, if you also have a chance, you want to try to prevent the slip buys. But the key there is protecting Svara, especially if there's still adventurers left, which at this point I think I had played the 4 of them.
oh,
But
had you?
yeah, I mean, you're exposed, as you say, on the other side with an adventurer, then a slip by gets you there. There was still one coordinate that you hadn't seen, that you know they're not going to discard coordinate. So
Yeah,
most of the time you're going to see them played in tandem. Like the moment that they play one, they're going to play the other. So right now in here, you were facing like potentially like 12, 13 dice, something like that with the combo. So yeah,
yeah,
that's the way to play. You have to prioritize in this situation, Svara.
yeah. Yeah, like I think after I took this turn, I was like, crap, if you like I should have put Svara one spot forward. Like I wasn't thinking about it until I hit the end turn button, but like it would have been so easy to kill Svara right here with the coordinate and slip by. Not happy
Mhm.
with that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's take a look at the individual units to close out. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was
sounds
an
good.
interesting game, for sure. Like it was shifting and all that. It was a fun game.
Yeah, they always are. Sfara shifts things around quite a bit. You want polar dwarves or wayfarers?
Any of them, you can do any.
All right, let's start with polar
We'll start
dwarves.
with- All right, so the polar dwarves. So the main difference then here is that instead of just building a fortress on the back, you want to build it under your fourth row. Ice ram and glacial shift are the key in here because they're going to be pushing really hard. So that's the thing that allows you to push them back and move many gates at the same time. So never discard them in this game, and make sure that you maximize them. Then the champs, auto discard Nadiana. Don't even bother. Like, she's not worth it, especially in this matchup. Then Oleg, only if you have too much magic and you don't have Jarmund around and you have a few ice golems, the guy can be can be useful. I would keep him on the back rows as you were doing, so that it's not easy for them to just kill him. So you want to keep him behind all the ice golems to really get the value out of him, and just using him to finish off any of the dancers that break into the formations because of the ability, or those adventurers that just went forward to kill something and then they're overextended. That's how you want to be using this guy if you play him. But I would prioritize Jarmund, the other dude,
Yep.
Jarmund. So prioritize this guy. Like, he's the key. He's kind of like the Boldo of this deck. Like, the guy is just amazing always, almost in every matchup. And this one is he's especially useful. So make sure that you play this guy. Whatever you have to discard, you can always discard the Ice Myths and the Bears. The Bears you're going to be playing one or two, so it's okay to discard the others if you have this guy early. Then the parapets, don't discard them. They're amazing in this matchup because you want to build that wall that covers the whole field. You won't have enough gates for that. You don't always want to be using the ice golems as the front row because otherwise, like, Celeste is going to be shooting at them. You want Celeste to be having to spend their attacks shooting parapet, shooting 5 gates, shooting things like that, which are not units. That's as good as it can get for the polar drives, like having them have Celeste be used that way.
Yeah.
Then the ice repair is the one that, unless you can get some good value out of it, like meaning at least 4 or more health from it, I would just discard it. Don't clog your hand because of it. Like, just discard it if you don't have anything to do with it at that moment, because you want to make sure that you get to your combo fast. You never know how deep the second card of the combo is. And you don't want to be like, if you already have one piece of the combo, you don't want to be clogging your hand with another event.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have things to heal, like you're going to be healing 4 or 5, like stuff like that, just use it. If you only have like a single ice golem with 3 health, 2 health, something like that, I wouldn't even bother. I would rather have the magic, because it's better to be able to play like both of those champs, for example, or play multiple bears than just get 2 health from one card. 2
Yeah,
or 3 health,
gotcha.
which is not worth it, especially if some of the health is in a, like, in your 10 gate or in your like 5 gate, which is at 3 live. Like, sometimes that's not great, but if overall you're healing like a lot, including your smaller gates and parapets, then yeah, it's worth it. And
Gotcha.
then the units, the ice golems, you want to play as many as possible, just because they'll allow you to build that like that line that just doesn't allow them to get through, and then also attacks in the meantime, and then also is a threat for the summoning spots with the bears to trample, right? Like, once you have many of those around, they can be clogging your normal gates, but it's hard to be clogging those and clogging all of the ice golems. So I would try to play as many as possible. Same thing with the frost mages. Those guys really hurt the Wayfarers, because they won't be able to kill them in a single attack. And the Wayfarers only have 3 attacks. That's it. No other way to deal damage. So having to spend 2 attacks to kill these guys, it's amazing. And when they get a few whiffs and don't even kill them in 2 attacks, like, it's devastating for the Wayfarers. So
Yeah.
I will also play as many Frost Mages as I can, as long as you have enough gates for them to attack at least for 3. And the Ice Myth, I would probably discard all of them, really. Maybe play one for a specific situation just to be able to get my 3 attacks. Or when you already have a Celeste in like around 5 life, 4 life, something like that, that's when I start like planning maybe that kill play with an ice smith that I have on the back just ready. So whenever they have to use Celeste and expose her, then you bring the bear, you equip, and you send it forward. And that way you guarantee, like if they're in 3 health, like you're gonna get the kill. So only in that situation is where I would be playing that. Otherwise, I wouldn't try to just be see if I get lucky with a bear to kill a dancer or something like that, because sometimes you don't even really get any extra damage, and then they're gonna kill that bear very likely the next turn, and you just lose a lot of economic value.
Interesting. I've been trying to like change my play because normally, like especially when I started playing Polar Dwarves, just all 4 Ice Smiths just hit the bin. But like I've been trying to like get one out in a game to just like if anything just threaten it. Like in that turn where you said you instead of going for the parapet you did something different because you saw the Ice Smith. And similarly to just like have an answer if you come in with Baldo, I might have the bear plus the Smith to just annihilate Baldo immediately, which would be great. But I've been trying to like get one Ice Smith in there in a game just to like make my opponent scared, but I don't know. It's I'm still playing around with it.
Mhm. Yeah, and the thing is, it's always a gamble, right? Like sometimes, I mean, you will do it and not even really get any extra value.
Yeah.
So at that point, like you're never really sure. Like sometimes the opponent might not care. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, and then just blow up the parapet or blow up whatever thing you were
Yeah.
exposing, and then you just go for three, and then okay, you just get three, and then they blow up the bear, and at that point it's hard to come back from that. So you were hoping, like playing the lock of the roll, which many times is like a 50-50. I never play the ice myth on a like ice golem. Like it's just the odds there are just completely against you, and the econ
Yeah.
is going to throw you back a lot. But on the bears, sometimes it's a viable thing, especially when you're a little bit behind on when or when they are already down on life, and then maybe like they have 4 life. The odds are not that bad there. Like you can just go and try to finish it off. But otherwise, I prefer to play it safe and play not to rely hoping to get like a 50-50 situation for things to go my way. And that's what the ice myth pushes you into. And the thing is, you're going to be needing the magic in this matchup. It's not worth bringing him out most of the time for like just the 2 attack, because the Wayfarers, like you want them to be struggling for the magic. In this matchup for them, they'll be relying a lot on the dancers, so those are expensive. So you don't want them to have easy magic. Sometimes it might be okay, right? Like because you bring them down to try to kill a Voyager. So okay, you go for the 2/2 to get 1 magic back, and then they're gonna kill him, and you're okay with that. So that's not. It's not like that's wrong, but you don't want to be relying too much on those, because many times like that 2/2 is not even guaranteed. It's like a
Yeah.
70%, and that's the best case scenario. Like you just trade, and then for them it's much easier to just guarantee that they kill him with 1 shot. So that's why I
Yeah.
would maybe just play one maybe in the game, but I might be just discarding just all of them to make sure that I can keep playing more ice golems and maybe one more bear.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Wayfarers. So the
Sounds good.
Wayfarers, it's, I mean, from the strategy perspective, it's the usual, right? Like with really every matchup, they want to bring the game to the opponent. The main difference is that you're not going to be leaning that much into the assassination. You're going to try to keep Celeste on your side because it's too easy for them to trap you, like to lock down Svara so that she's protected, or trap Celeste. Really, sometimes like I've seen some of these games in which they just like they go for the assassination, they fail, or they were just trying to bring him down in life, and then she just protects herself and locks down Celeste. So then, unless you
Yeah.
have the waypoint, you lose. Like it's not uncommon for that to happen. So just don't lean that much on the assassination unless you get some clear openings and you're going with a very clear shot, or in that move that you're just moving forward, you're planting a gate or something to support that pressure that you're going to be putting in. So when they have few units, it's good to just go forward. Ideal scenario, you're planting gate. But if they already have like a good fortress, consider like if it's worth it or not, depending on the econ status. Coordinate, you will always try to use it, even if you don't get like macing value. It's you're going to be getting enough for it to be useful, like that at least 3 extra attack that it gives you. Then the champions, I would say stay away from Gusto. No way, like no way that guy is useful. Just get rid of him. Then the other one, what's the name of the other one?
Yes.
Tess. It's very unlikely that she's going to be worth it because they have a lot of defense, right? That's the thing of the Polar Dwarf. So you need hard hitters in this one. You don't need like something that's going to be hitting for 1 or 2 most of the time. And moving your gates forward is not that significant because the polar dwarfs can move their own gates. So they can just clog whatever gate you put there and do things like that. So it's not as significant as it can be in other matchups. So I would always just automatically discard her. Baldo, as usual, is the must play. So you will never discard him. Just do whatever you can to play him. He's too good. From the horizon, you'll try to always play the one you get. If you get too early, I wouldn't discard the second one. Maybe I'm going to do a suboptimal play to get the trigger fast of the first one, even if I have to send an adventurer that is not going to hit anything, but will trigger it. I would do that before discarding the other one. The waypoints are situational on this one. I would only play them. I would rather have the magic or more dancers or more adventurers to be able to keep that pressure than playing this thing that's going to get blown out most of the time. If you just put it like to protect the flank of a dancer or something like that, that is not that significant. Maybe I use it if I'm going all in with Celeste for like sending them for the kill shot or sending them to something really low. Then it's okay to use it to cover one flank because that way they'll have to worry about that thing too. But if you're going to put it in a position in which they can just use one of their 3 attacks that otherwise maybe they wouldn't even have targets for it, I would rather just discard it. Otherwise, when you go all in, if you have it, it's good to have it sometimes on the back for just to be able to get out with Celeste. So there are some situations, right? But the thing is, if you're not in that situation, then you know it's okay to just discard it to get the magic and keep the hand flowing.
Yeah.
Slip by, usually you at least always want to use one of them. Like it's really good. Sometimes maybe 2, both of them. If you get one too early, it's okay to discard it as long as you have enough units to keep putting the pressure on. In this game, because Celeste is going to be a little bit farther behind, and because even when they attack you, like it's hard for the dwarves to punish you really hard. Like most of the time, as we were saying, like if they attack you with 3 range, I mean, it's not a big deal, right? They're going to be hitting you for 2 most of the time, and then you keep shooting for 6, one-shotting like the frost mages or things like that. They're like, that's not a bad situation to be in to keep that momentum going forward because that's going to be combined with the dancers in their face and all that stuff. So I'm okay in this matchup discarding one and then using the second one mid-game, end game, once I find some openings just to go on the other side and plant gates and shoot for 6-7, that type of scenario, like that's when your slip by is going to be useful. I guess maybe in this matchup, I should have kept it for longer the second one. I don't know, because I had also Baldo on coordinate. I didn't want to just get screwed like the last time I played Wayfarers with you, that something like that happened. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for the econ, not even try the assassination, and ride the turn after. I think that's when it could have been useful, or a couple turns. But you are going to be able to use one at least of those ones. The units. So the dancer is more useful than usual. Like most of the times you play 2-3 dancers. In this matchup, I would be playing like 4 or 5 dancers easily. And if I have enough magic, I would be bringing them back from the horizon and all that stuff because the polar dwarves, they struggle to get rid of them. And I mean, they don't hit hard either, right? But the thing is, if this guy is the one that is going to be breaking into their 4th row, even if they manage to do that, like he's going to be able to keep sneaking in so that Celeste still has part of the boost or the full boost. So that's why they are so important. And the adventurers, they're also great as usual, but they get killed really easily, right? That's the thing. But you do need the extra attack because their targets have a lot of life. So same thing with the adventurers. I would probably play all of them. And same thing with the horizon. If I have enough magic, I bring them back.
Yeah.
And as those guys are the ones that allow you to bring down like the golems with 2 attacks, right? You really need them. Otherwise, those golems can't survive with all the other units that can attack for 2. The Voyager, it's less useful than usual. Most of the games, like most of the matchups, you use like a lot of Voyagers. Not in this case, because they're going to be trying to establish a line on their third or fourth row. So even your dancers are going to be able to be reaching whatever they need to reach. The range unit is not going to be that useful in this case. They won't really have great targets. Like those guys shooting a golem is not that significant. Shooting a frost mage is even worse because they're not going to kill him in one shot, and then the frost mage is going to kill the Voyager in one shot. So you will usually not have good targets for them. So I would discard most of them. You'll still play a few because they work really well in those coordinate turns, in those slip by turns in which they manage to go all the way up and then attack with Celeste. So still consider that you're going to use them that way, but don't think you're going to be just trading with them because they don't trade well in this matchup.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Rogue. It's still usable. Like you're going to be playing 2 or 3, but it's okay to discard a few to have enough magic for the other guys. Just because they can one shot them with the ice golems. Like that's one of the few units that they can actually kill easily with the ice golem. All the other ones, the ice golem doesn't really kill in one shot. And the rogues doing the usual thing that they doing, which they just hog the front gate of the opponent and then just start hitting. It's not that useful in here, right? Because then Svara just moves the gate and attacks him for 3 and kills him, or they can do those type of things in which that hogging of the gate is not permanent as it would traditionally be in a game. So that's why these guys are not that useful. So I would still use a couple just to make sure that I always have enough units. They will allow you to be killing those golems with 2 attacks with a single flank exposed with the adventurer and this guy. Like you're still going to use them that way, but it's okay to discard 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, makes sense. And how many adventurers do you think you'd play in a given game?
Well, I would at least like play all of them if I can, really as many as I can play in this game. In the average game, it would be 3-4 because they're always really great, especially because most of the matchups you're looking for the assassination, and these guys are just perfect for that. In this game, even though you won't be looking for the assassination because they have a lot of health, it's the main unit you need to be able to bring down those high health units, like with a high degree of certainty. So those bears and those golems, you want to be able to kill them with 2 attacks. And the adventure is the only way that you even have a chance of doing that. So that's why I would be trying to play as many as I can in this matchup. And try to always position them in such a way that a bear wouldn't be able to trample him and then attack him, because that's when you get the odds playing to your favor. When you attack with this guy for 3, and then for them it's going to be hard to kill them. Like they're going to need 2 attacks at least, like with a nice golem and with Svara, or if of your Ben, like you can kill them in one shot, right, with the Svara, but not everyone can do that. Just not going to do that. But so you want them to have to do 2 attacks on them. Or like if they get the bear and trample, they're gonna kill him every time. But if they can just get a bear to him and attack for 3, they're gonna be surviving almost half of the times, and then that's when the econ just completely shifts. They're gonna attack back the bear, and then any other thing can probably like just attack that bear and kill him. That's where the game completely shifts to you, right? Like when you manage to get that. So that's why it becomes that 50-50 of who gets their 3/3s. Right? Because if you get the 3/3s of the adventurer, it's easy to then kill with 2 attacks one of their 5 units. And then it's hard for them to kill the adventurer with a single shot. So that's why it's so important to make sure that you don't leave them in a position in which they can do that. Like if you see my first turn, you'll see that I didn't do the activated the ability just because of that, so that you couldn't just kill it with a bear. Like after I attacked, I didn't do the embark there just because of the bear, because if I do that, I'm exposing myself to a bear, which almost guarantees that you're going to be able to kill with 1 attack the adventurer. So that's the thing you have to keep in mind during the game, that where can I leave this adventurer so that they cannot get the trample, and then get the attack.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right, so I think that covers all the units. As you can see, it's an interesting matchup because you have to play it in a very specific way with both factions to maximize your chances of winning. And those ways are not the traditional way you would play the factions. So I'm pretty sure, like, if you start going through replays, like, you can just tell by whoever is doing that strategy that we said if they win or not. Like, if the game goes to them, because it's a massive difference when the game is happening in that position and when you prioritize those units or not. So yeah, I think it's a pretty cool matchup. We'll see. I look forward. I'm going to be checking the replays of the Division 1 and 2 once they
Yeah,
play them and see if that theory plays out. Like, if you see
yeah,
if people who were playing it that way, how things go. And for the ones that were not doing that strategy with Wayfarers, pretty sure like they're going to be losing. And whoever just hovels up with Polar Dwarves and allows Wayfarers to establish the game on their end, I think it's going to be hard for them to survive that onslaught.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I always love when a particular matchup just brings out a different way of playing a faction. Like I think Celeste playing for Econ I think is a ton of fun. And a lot of matchups you just end up getting an assassination anyways. But yeah, I was not expecting you to say that about this matchup, so I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So yeah, so that's the season. I guess we'll see. Like, we can restart next season, see what we
Yeah,
have
for sure.
around. I think people have been enjoying these games, right? Like, we can keep doing them, like streaming the whole thing and do the season.
Yeah, I think, I mean, everyone let us know what you've been thinking, what you've been enjoying and not. But from what I can tell, it seems like people are into it. Yeah, I'm down to start again next season. I think there's usually like a 2 to 3 week break in between seasons, so we'll be on hiatus
Yeah,
in
yeah,
between, and then
that's a good idea. Like, it would be great if we could get some feedback about like the format and the analysis or anything to see if just if there's any adjustments we can do. Right now, we have the length established at 2 to 3 hours, depending on how fast the games go, right? Like, it can be, usually it's at least 1 hour of the game, 1 hour analyzing. Um, I'm trying to think if there was anything we could adjust, but let's see what we hear, if you hear any feedback. But
yeah.
yeah, I think we have a good format, and yeah, looking forward to play the next season. It's always fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun too. Yeah, feel free to message me feedback, put it in the content streaming channel or comment on the YouTube videos. And yeah, somehow a little bit of luck on my side. So we've gone 3 for 2, 3-2 this season. I managed to take season 21, woohoo, as opposed to getting pretty stomped in season 20, 4-1. So glad glad that I managed to get at least a win in one of these. And it'll be fun to see, but fun to see how that keeps going. Do you think any quick closing thoughts about season 21 overall about this set of matchups?
I think it was. I really enjoyed the matchups they got this season. Like, they were all really pretty like balanced, right? None of them was really a blowout. Like, the first one, it was anyone's game. I don't know what were the percentages at the end on that one. Probably the gross took slight edge.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, because they're just a little bit overpowered. But it's close. It's like one of the few matchups that has a chance of taking them down. So it was a good choice for the Grogs. Let's see the second
Yeah.
one. Let's see how our
This one, I
predictions
looked
play
at
out.
this
In this one,
earlier.
I think I
Look
said
at this.
the order, right? Like, the Crimson Order had the edge. I think I said around
64%.
60. It was even more
That's
than what
insane.
we expected.
That's ridiculous. That is like nope. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Like I do not believe it's so favored in Crimson Order, but maybe it is.
It, I mean, it was flavor. I think that's what we said. But the thing
Yeah,
is, if the High Elves play it perfectly, they have a good chance. Like, in our game, for example, it was I made a mistake and then you just completely shut me down, right? Like that's
Yeah.
probably how the game was playing, in which with the elves you had to play perfectly to even survive, and with the Crimson Order you didn't really have. It wasn't that drastic in which like a single decision could just bring the game down. Maybe it was that, but it definitely leaned to the Order. Let's see, which
Yeah.
one was the third?
Oh.
Then the
Eh,
third was Sand Goblins. So hold on, Sand Goblins. What did we say about this one? I think we
Uh
said that the Goblins had the edge
yeah.
because of the mobility, right? So it was actually closer than I would have expected. I think I said 55, something between 55 and
That's
I'm not sure if all matches have finished.
That's
Probably,
what
I
I was
guess most.
thinking too. Yeah, I was thinking like goblins must have a 55 to even like 60% win rate. I really expected I expected this to be the most polarized matchup of all of them. And
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
guess
I think a lot of people didn't expect the combos of the Fallen Kingdom. I mean, even when we played, right? Like we all both forgot about the combos. You and me, like we were there, and
we're no
I mean,
one's used to playing against Fallen Kingdom anymore. They're just gone.
exactly,
No one
yeah.
plays them.
That's the thing, and it's a long game, so it's easy. Like you just have to forget at some point. Like I was playing around the combos at first, but then after so many turns, I just forgot about it. Right, so it's easy after like 20 turns to just like because you have to be thinking every turn, like, okay, can they reach me with blood summons? Can they do this?
Yeah, yeah,
And I guess that's probably what happened in a lot of games. People were not thinking like, oh, they can reach me. So that's why it
yeah,
was probably. But I think there's still some games that have to be played. Like some games have been getting backed up a lot, but it's probably going to be around that. And then the next one was the Forge, which I said that it leaned to the Forge 5560. I think there might still be multiple games that haven't finished, but let's see. Look at that. It's right now even leaning slightly to the Vargath. There's 82 games, so there's still like 20 games. It seemed that the total was closer to 100 games, but it's leaning there. But we also did note that the Vargad had a chance, like they had the tools, so it was a good matchup, also a good selection there, because a lot of the matchups against the Forge, they're just a complete blowout for the Forge, right? Like they just steamroll many of them, but not the Vargad. So this was also a good choice. And finally, the dwarves, which right now I don't think we have any like percentage results, but
yeah.
yeah, right now there's just a handful of games, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure like it's gonna lean to the dwarves around 55, 60, closer to 60, I would say in this case, because I think most people might be too hesitant with Celeste. Like they're gonna be too careful with her, not want to expose her too much, and just the combo is eventually gonna push the line forward. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's going to be closer to 60, 55, 60 for the dwarves.
Yeah, Ram shift is good. It's always has been, always will be, even with the nerf.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah, and the fact that she's able to build such good defensive measures pretty much nullifies the main advantage of the Wayfarers, right? Like that finding the holes for the assassination. Few decks have like a lot of tools, but the dwarves are the ones that have the best tools because they can even close down any holes and just reshift everything. So it's probably one of the worst matchups for the Wayfarers if you think about it.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Well, it's a fun season. I agree with you. I think these matchups were all a lot of fun. I think they were good choices. I think season 20 was a little bit weirder for me, a little bit more lopsided.
Yeah, I think that was more of a some of them were a blowout. Like the Bargath was a blowout against the
Yeah,
Bargath against the Vanguard was a blowout. The Cloak Sand Goblins ended up being close actually. Crimson Order Sand Goblins, I think it was a blowout for the Goblins. Like they were able to easily defeat the Crimson Order because of the mobility.
yeah.
And the results
Oh,
is slightly, but yeah, I think it's
yeah,
like it was an easy match if you know how to play the goblins. The obsidian dwarves, fungal dwarves. I think the fungal dwarves had a like a big edge. What was the result on that one? Because it's a tough match for the obsidian dwarves. Look at that, exactly 50.
interesting.
But yeah, that's well, there was a particular way of playing it, remember? Like I was able to do it, but you have to like play the champs and do all that stuff. That was a great game now that I think of it. Like
Yeah.
You can bring like the 3 champs and do a lot with them, but the thing is, you had to play in a particular way. Otherwise, so that was anyone's game really. Whoever was playing to the strengths and weaknesses of the other one.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I just had like a couple blowouts. I think 2 of them, it seems, because close and cave goblins. I mean, that is always the cave goblins always have the puncher's chance, right? Like they can knock out everyone. Any matchup, like they're always. It's a tough match, but you can always just get the right cards, the right order, the right momentum, and just defeat any faction. Look at
Yeah.
that. They even ended up. Oh no, that's the combination of both. If you just look at season 20, let's see what it was.
Oh, I see. I see. Oh, wow, we've done it twice. That's
It
funny.
was similar, close to the edge. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was just 2 matchups last season, which were very lopsided. But this season, it seems I don't think we had any that was particularly lopsided in this one.